You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everybody. It's 8:43. It's a Tuesday, so that means we have Dr. Aaron Chapa in studio. He's going to be talking about health, wellness, getting better. If you have any health questions, ask them right now. We're going to get those asked. We're going to get those answered. We are so excited to have Dr. Chapa in studio. We're keeping it positive today. There's always stuff on social media and in life, in your DMs, all over the world. You turn on the TV, and it can bring you down, right?
It can sometimes.
But what do you do whenever those things show up in your DMs?
I feel like you just have to, smile politely and say, oh, cool.
What do you do when somebody calls you fat, Curt?
I just look at them the other way and I go eat 5 tacos.
What do I do whenever somebody, wants to be mean to me?
And
I cry about it.
you cry. No, you just smile and say, oh, that's cool. Thank
That's
you.
interesting. Dr. Chapa, what do you do whenever somebody tries to bring some negativity into your life?
Well, I use deflection drills. I try to not let it get to the root of me and recognize that hurting people hurt people, and the joy of the Lord is my strength. You just kind of knock it off the old the shoulder, not wear my feelings on my sleeves. But sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's not easy.
What do you want to do? Like every time, sometimes you just want to take everything and turn it back and be like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's tough.
Isn't it easy, right? It's easy to retaliate or fight fire with fire, but how often does that really lead to anything good? I mean, if you have a message that you're really trying to get to, I think a lot of times when people are hating on you, it means that you're actually doing a good thing and you're starting to make your mark and make your impression known. And so it's the test. And if you withstand the test and you stay positive and you stay in the light, so to speak, you don't let that negativity get on you. You just shake it off.
Here we go, going on the FM right now. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name is Gardy.
And I'm Curt. Don't shake anything.
Curt was over there shaking. You had some back issues. You went and hung out with Dr. Chapa yesterday. Whenever you were out of town, doing your thing, having a good time, you got injured. What happened, man?
I went to go pick up a cushion.
Was it heavy, filled with lead?
No, it wasn't heavy at all. I just bent over, picked up a cushion, and the back was like, you're not getting up from this. And I just rolled over on the side and just sat there. And I was like, I'm in pain.
Brutal.
I'm in pain. And everyone's like, we're running to the grocery store. I'm like, I'm in pain.
Call a doctor.
We'll be back. I'm like, where did you guys go? You left me here.
Did you ask for some pain medicine? Did you ask for icy hot, anything at all?
Well.
Uh-oh. You took some medication, didn't you?
Yes.
I'm sure he did.
I did. I had to.
Yeah. I mean, and how many days were you in pain?
6.
And how many?
5.
And it was 18 to 22,000 steps a day. You still pushed through and persevered.
You fight when you're injured. You don't just get on the sideline. You go back out and play another play.
I mean, well, there ain't no doubt. I mean, and props to you. I mean, when you're in pain on a vacay, that's just no good.
No.
And, but sometimes I find people get sick on vacations or whenever they have a break, like a 3-day weekend or a 4-day weekend. They have an element pop up that they weren't ready for, and they're like, what happened? It's like subconsciously your body knows when you have time to rest. And, when you go all the time, burning the candle at 3 different ends, and then you have a little break time, your body consciously lets you download new software, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes that new software is a bug. You got to get an immunological upgrade. In your case, Curt, I don't know what happened, what was in that lead cushion you picked up, but something was not right with that.
I would like to see that. Sometimes I want to be a fly on the wall because I'm there whenever I'm there with Curt a lot. And sometimes whenever he retells stories that I'm there, I'm like, Curt, it didn't happen like that at all. That's not what happened, And so I would be very interested to be a fly on the wall over there in Florida as you're trying to sabotage your trip for some reason. I don't know why. You're just throwing your back up against the wall, just banging everywhere.
The one thing that was really funny was that the day before, I could feel my hamstring was tightening up. As I was walking, I'm like, oh man,
it's all connected.
I'm going to be walking around Universal. I cannot have my hamstring doing that. So I actually put some icy hot on my hamstring before we went on the plane. And the next day, throw your back out. That's literally what happened. But we found out yesterday when you were working on my back that a lot of the issues was because of the hamstring.
It's all connected, right?
Yeah, it's all connected. And we're like we have this big layer of saran wrap around us called fascia, and it attaches, to over every aspect of muscles, but they're all interconnected. And so a lot of times when you have one area of weakness and he's got an old injury that I learned about yesterday too in the hamstring, that, whether it's complicating the problem, and the analogy I give is if you got 100 fibers in a muscle and you were injured, and let's say now every day you're at 70% of those fibers are firing, and then you get injured, or in this case, who knows, it's a efficiency dropped, say, down to 50 fibers, okay? And again, there's way more than this, but just for simplicity's sake, now there's a lot more instability present, and then you can go pick up the taco cushion and all of a sudden blow your back out. Or you can reach back in the back seat and grab your purse and, something go tweak and not go like it's supposed to. And it's literally, it's like the camel that breaks the camel's back. Well, in this case, that's what exactly happened. He goes on this trip. It could have been the plane ride. A lot of people get dehydrated on plane rides.
Where you're squished in the seat.
Yeah, they're not designed to be comfortable. I mean, they're designed to be economically fuel efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And so weight distribution in the plane is all set up. And then so he's in a squished seat for 2 hours, and he's probably dehydrated, probably didn't take his supplements that morning or something. Who knows? And then he gets to Florida, and and it's the whole stress of air travel is stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be.
I mean, you go through the security thing, and you're wondering if you're going to get strip searched today.
Take your shoes off.
I mean,
it's weird.
Then you're going to forget your wallet. You're going to forget your phone. You're going to forget something that's important to you. And I have a whole system that I do, and I still get all wonky, to the point where I've found, like, on airplane travel, I don't even eat. Like I just drink water, and I'm on I do a juice from Main Squeeze or something. But I don't eat food, because the blood flow when you're stressed is where? Fight or flight. It's in your extremities. It's not in your digestive tract. And so when I'm stressed out at the airport, wondering if I'm going to lose a bag or whatnot, I find that I keep my digestive tract clear and open so that my body can go through that process. And then whenever I get to my destination on the other side in the next state or the next county or the next city or wherever I'm going, then I'll go and have a meal of sorts.
What I would usually do is grab some snacks. Like, I love popcorn, even popcorn that's in a bag, not freshly popped. Like, I'd grab popcorn, I'd have to have some gummy candy, then I'd have sour candy, then I would have an energy drink, and then a water, and then I'd go to Burger King. It's like the only place I'll eat Burger King at the airport, and I'm like, it's good because they're making it right there because they're so busy, and I have all that. Is that probably a bad idea?
I mean, realistically, okay, so let's just think about an airplane. How many calories do you burn on an airplane?
Well,
not many.
About 0 to 10 if I use the restroom or not.
I use a lot of
the amenities.
Bathroom breaks. Probably like every maybe 10, 15 minutes I'm running back to the bathroom.
All right, so you might burn a little bit more calories, but still not much. I mean, because you're not like running. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
Excuse me. Let me get by.
Yeah, I use the restroom probably at least like maybe 30 times between getting through TSA and taking off. And
to stretch your legs.
Do you know what that is? I mean, that's the pregame jitters. I mean, that's his body having a fight or flight response, and he's having, I don't want to say a loss of bowel and bladder control, but I mean, at some respect,
at his age, sometimes you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, Kurt, I'm sorry.
When you have the back of an 80-year-old.
Well, hopefully if we keep at it, we'll get that thing tuned up for
75. No older than 75 years old.
We got to at least get it under your IQ.
Yesterday, yes. Oh my God. Yesterday, I said, he goes, flip on your stomach, and so I flipped on my back. He goes, your other stomach. And I was like, I'm sorry, my 83.
I'm blessed.
My 83 IQ, and he was like, yeah, it's probably 77 when your back hurts.
It's a big distraction.
It is a big pain is a real deal, guys. I mean, so we can make light of it, and I'm proud of you that. I mean, because you push through. I mean, you literally at Universal. I know when we go to Disney, like we'll put on 22,000 steps. I mean, it's like go, 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 go.
And the rides tell you, please don't ride this ride if you have back issues. And I'm like, I
came
through
all the way to Florida.
I spent $200 on this stinking ticket for Universal. I'm not going to just sit there and not enjoy myself.
Amen, bro.
In pain or not, I'm going to enjoy this.
So, yeah. So, I mean, the reality is if you ate all of those calories and then you sit on an airplane and do nothing for 2 hours, I mean, it can't be good for you, right? I mean, just logically, consumption and volume and not maximizing calorie burn. But it's interesting that, I wonder if you're compensating for something too, because you said it's the only place that you have Burger King, whether it's fresh or not. Maybe that's what you've justified it to. Maybe it's because
it's fresh. I mean, I need to try those Burger King tacos. I'm about to go on a trip this Friday afternoon.
So the reality is we got to look at multitudes of ways to maximize or to appreciate what we're about to go through and then plan accordingly. So if people are eating popcorn and gummies and Sour Patch Kids and then Burger King, I mean, there's that and an energy drink. I mean, think of there's a lot you're asking your body to put up with in that respect.
JJ Jeffrey, which is your buddy, and we had him on the show. We need to have him back on. I love JJ.
What up, JJ?
He said bring a shake weight with you. That would be a good way to exercise while on the plane, burn some calories.
Of course.
And the people next to you would probably love it. Be like, do you want to borrow this? I brought 2. Don't worry. Here,
JJ. I mean, you evolved. You should post a video of when you're using your shake weight.
Do you have one? I'm going to have to get one for the airplane ride. That would be an awesome video.
That is actually awesome. That would be hilarious.
Just getting some burn in, When you're on the road and you're trying to keep up with routine, whether that's diet, exercise.
I know. I mean,
it's tough.
And you got it right there in that small, capacity space.
It's like a shake weight's about this big.
The airplane pilot comes on and says, we have a disturbance at aisle, seat number. What's going on back there?
Bing. Like to remind everybody to stay seated while the light's on.
Yeah. By the way, don't get up until you're at the gate. I stood up because I lost my phone. It was a rough vacation. Like when you look back at everything that went on, that was probably the start. I was looking for the phone, and the guy was like, "Sit down, sir," and I was just like, "I know Angie Mertens."
She works for Southwest. Like, come on, you got to know.
We don't know. And I was like, oh, sorry.
Everybody says that.
Everybody says they know Angie, but not everybody does. It's 8:55. This is KHEA Radio.com 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out right now. We're talking about health. We're talking about wellness with Dr. Aaron Chapa. Every Tuesday, we answer your questions, and we actually have a question. This is from Russ, who is actually outside the studio hanging out with Miss Joanne with a couple cups of coffee, ready to bring him in because she is amazing. Russ says, Dr. Chapa, question. You said my liver was inflamed yesterday. What do I do or take to help it? By the way, I feel wonderful.
Hey, so glad, Russ. Thanks so much for being amazing. I'm so proud of you for everything that you're incorporating into your world, man. So keep up the good work. And so when we talk about liver being inflamed, this is going to actually play into another question that one of my social media posts created as well about the value of liver detoxification. And so the liver is the giver. 3/4 of your liver can be removed, and it will regenerate itself. So the liver is a pretty powerful organ, and it's involved in over 600 known pathways. The liver is, in my opinion, involved in every system of the body. Without the liver, your body is going to suffer greatly in a many way. When I say, if I were to tell somebody that they have an inflamed liver, and let's say in that case I didn't have a blood work, so in this case I did not, and so how would I know that a liver would be inflamed? Well, so a lot of the work that we do is we do a lot of visceral manipulation. We do a lot of organ work. We're not just assuming that you're a spine. We are assuming that you are made up of multiple systems, and these systems need to be manipulated, all of them. So your stomach can be out of alignment. Your liver can be out of alignment. Your gallbladder could be needing to be tinkered with. Your digestive tract needs to be worked with and manipulated in some respect. So we can get in there and we can start mobilizing and moving different organ systems around and do what's called a reverse feedback into the nervous system. So like the same nerves that come out of your back that stimulate a muscle, and everybody knows a pinched nerve can create these symptoms, but the same nerves also in the same proximity will stimulate an organ. So knowing where my organs are and knowing the nerve supply, I can start doing work on a visceral organ, and I can do feedback into the spine and decrease inflammation. So whenever I poked on one of his liver reflexes, it was extremely tender. And typically whenever I find these tender reflex points, there is a level of inflammation. And that's an indication that maybe we're not drinking enough water. Maybe we're getting into too much fruit sugar, high fructose corn syrup, maybe one of the 4 deadly food additives. Maybe we're getting into too much fruit. I mean, too much sugar, and it's causing inflammation in the body. Maybe we're eating some of the most common food allergies like wheat and dairy and corn and soy, and it's inflaming the digestive tract, and the liver now can't dump toxins into an already inflamed or toxic bowel. So there's a multitude of things that I could be implying, but in your case, I would say when I started looking at the liver outflow reflex, it was tender and not working like it's supposed to. So that inflammation we wanted to address, and we're going to slowly but surely start mobilizing trash through the liver more effectively for him. And what we'll do every visit or so, I try to just step up his program a little bit and push his body to perform better. So the next thing that I'd be adding, it would be something in the realm that can create a better bile flow through the liver, and we can do that using beets.
Oh, beets.
Yep.
Bears, Battlestar Galactica. Here's another question. This is from Sarah from Prepping Sisters. She said, what are the 4 deadly food additives? What are those for?
Oh, thanks for asking. So the 4 deadly food additives, normally I'm pretty good at explaining all that. The first one is high fructose corn syrup. And high fructose corn syrup is basically just that. It's a high temperature processed corn syrup that in the body becomes a highly inflammable substrate for all cells in the body. And so high fructose corn syrup can create problems in your arteries, can create problems in your liver, can create problems in your GI tract, and it does some not so good things to your blood sugar in the spikes that in the roller coaster ride that it puts your body into when you consume it. And it's in quite a few ingredients. I mean, if you look at a label, it'll be in the first 3 or 4 ingredients. And when you see it, that you also know not only are you getting a bad ingredient, now you have to question all the other ingredients, because if the company is going to put high fructose corn syrup in the product, they probably don't really care too much about the other ingredients either. That's one. Number 2 is partially hydrogenated oil. Partially hydrogenated oil is going to be canola oil, vegetable oil, margarine, all your fake oils. And when you put in these inflammatory oils, they can cause a multitude of liver inflammation, specifically to this question. And we find that a lot of partial hydrogenated oil can lock up the liver's ability to do its job at its best by 3 months, maybe in cases 6 months. Curt looks really excited about something.
He's reading.
I mean,
labels.
Wait.
I'm waiting for the 3 and 4 so then I can check this off the list of it's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how you play the game. You look at the ingredients. So the third one is artificial sugars. So that's going to be anything from sucralose to saccharin and or aspartame.
Oh, that's sucralose.
Is sucralose in here?
Yes.
And so basically, sucralose is like a chlorinated hydrocarbon. And it basically like take your favorite drink and you sprinkle chlorine all over the top of it. And now you're consuming, chlorinated products. How nice is that? And so when we put these artificial sugars in and around our food or our drink, some of these are known neurotoxins. Some of these are very cellularly destructive. They inflame not just the liver, but all cells in the body. So they can stress out your digestive tract again, your arteries, the transmission of information across synaptic spaces in your brain. And so we don't want these types of substances to come in. Again, that's the artificial sugar category. And we're talking about the 4 deadly food additives for anybody that's just tuning in. And so we got high fructose corn syrup, partially hydrogenated oil, artificial sugars, and then monosodium glutamate, MSG. MSG is a spice, and it's highly processed as well, and it has a known neurotoxic effect because it pushes the cell beyond its breaking point, and it makes it overactive to the point of that it blows up, so to speak. So, and there's a lot of hidden words, and I don't have a lot of these hidden words memorized. I have a sheet in my office because there is a lot of MSG hidden words out there.
It's named different. They rebrand it, right?
That's right. And like right now, high fructose corn syrup, the rebranded name is crystalline fructose. Crystalline fructose. And so when you see crystalline fructose, you got to go, huh? They didn't give me a memo on that.
Yeah.
Of course they didn't, because there's so much negative hype around high fructose corn syrup. I mean, literally, that for about 6 months, and I don't watch a lot of TV, you understand? So, but for about 6 months, my wife would be watching the news or something, and there would be a commercial that would pop up, and lo and behold, there'd be a corn commercial promoting how wonderful corn is for our bodies. And
billboard.
And corn is
got corn.
Got corn.
I could think of
Let me
a whole.
ask you guys a question, and you guys on Facebook too. Is corn a vegetable?
He hangs it.
I know the answer.
Yes.
I thought it was.
And most people do think
It's not. It's from the ground.
It's not from. It is from the ground, but it grows on a stalk, and so therefore it makes it a grain.
Wait, did you think like the vegetables can't come from the ground? Is that what your whole?
Well, I was thinking of potatoes. He said potatoes aren't really a vegetable.
They are a
No,
vegetable.
they are a vegetable because they're a root vegetable, but they
Okay.
don't. But they have a low nutritional value point.
His back's hurt.
That's
We're
all right.
giving him
77
a slack.
IQ. 77 today.
Yeah.
Hey, this actually comes from the person who gave me my awesome 83 IQ hat, hashtag 83.
I thought you were saying it was from your mom, but then you said the hat. So the person who gave me my 83 IQ.
Wow. Anyways.
Sorry.
This is actually something that you and I talked about last night. By the way, it's 9:04. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Kelly asked, what causes sciatic nerve pain? I get it terribly. And we talked a little bit about that. My sciatic nerve was really fired up yesterday as well.
What is a sciatic nerve?
So sciatic nerve is a conglomerate of it's a nerve. It's called the sciatic nerve, and it's in the realm of L2, 3, 4, and 5. And when it comes through, a lot of times you've got a muscle, like a little triangular space that it fits through in and around the piriformis. And when your body's in spasm because of low minerals, and if you don't have good minerals, you can't have good muscle physiology. You can have a tightening, just a general tone tightness in throughout your tissues, and that can create a spasm, or that tightness can create a pinch on the sciatic nerve. And the sciatic nerve radiates pain down your butt, your butt and back of the thigh, wrapping around towards the front of the knee, and this radiating pain down the leg can be very discomforting, or in some, when it gets really bad, the tingling and the pain sorts goes to numbness. So that's a progression, a digression where it's going the wrong way. We always want we always want pain to go towards the spine, not towards the extremities. When you have pain that goes towards the spine, your body is fixing it. When it goes towards the extremities, it's not fixing it, it's getting worse.
Like pain is gradually moving like from my shoulder to like down my arm. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
But
Down
if it
into
was
your-
coming up and then it's getting better, it's going
It's
towards
correct.
the shoulder. Okay.
So like a patient will come in this case, let's say that, in Kurt's case, he had back pain, like his back was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I would expect Kurt's back pain distribution pattern to do is it would start wide, like it real diffuse over the whole back, and then it would start to minimize towards the spine and to the size of that little coin you got in your hand. And it'll just get just smaller, and it would just kind of go away. And so when you have muscle spasms, when you have dehydration, low mineral levels, you can create a recipe for moving in the cushion, so to speak, and something so pointless, something that has nothing to do with back pain, and then boom. I mean, I've had people tell me they wiped their hiney in the bathroom and their back went out on them. I mean, that's got to be a terrible day, right? And it's like, I mean, you don't even have a good story. You can't even tell your friends that. I mean, because
So
they're going to
gotta
laugh at you.
Clean up and wash your hands,
Yeah.
and that'll be.
They still find
hassle.
a way to laugh at me because they're like, how heavy was that cushion?
Yeah.
Was it full of tacos?
It's a serious. It's a serious question.
Why are you so fat? Go eat some tacos.
I'm just like, geez, man, that's pretty hardcore. I mean, that whole name calling thing, as much as you don't want it to affect you. I mean, it can definitely, and that's what started my whole journey. I mean, I had a girl call me fat when I was in junior high, and man, I mean, I just walked straight out the back of the campus
To the gym?
I was heading to the gym. I went and changed clothes, and then instead of going left back into the towards all my school classes, I went out the back door and just hiked it on home. And we still had 2 or 3 hours left, and I went home and had a little pep talk with myself and said, Aaron, we're not going to let chicks make fun of us anymore about this. What are we going to do about it? And so I mean, it's one of those
See him
moments.
looking in the mirror doing that with his hair back.
Is that when you got the Bowflex? Because that's what JJ Jeffrey was saying. He said, does he still use the Bowflex, or is it like the Chuck Norris total workout machine?
The total gym. Oh, JJ, I love you, dude. By the way, if you want to get a good workout, JJ will put it on you.
Yeah, I see some of the videos. I don't know if he was traveling, but it was some workouts like with sandbags and kettlebells, and he was knocking it out.
I mean, my back hurt.
Sandbags, kettlebells. Don't say that.
Yesterday, it was right after I got done with Choppa. I was putting I had to fill up with gas, and I was at Buc-ee's, and my gas cap fell off and started rolling and running, and I was like, oh dear, and it was just rolling it was on its side.
That's
and
the way it goes, man.
I was like, dang, I'm gonna throw my back out again,
picking up my gas can.
I had to run after it. Here's me trying to run with this. I'm sure that somebody got video of me chasing this stinking gas can cap all the way through the parking lot, and then bending over really super slow.
Yeah. Can we talk about what was going on with his back? Because he went and saw you yesterday. He had back pain for about 6 days, and it was not looking too good, right?
Yeah, so when he came in, I mean, he was having a hard time sitting. I mean, it was bad enough that Curt Casper came to see me. I mean,
this is a lot.
I mean, so I felt honored, and so he reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you get me, in today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come on over. We'll get you fixed up." And but I had a feeling it was going to be one of those you always want to have just an immediate fix, an immediate home run. But when pain sits for 6 days, it's not typically going to go away overnight. Whenever I went out on a trip with my family, I was on a rope swing and I hit the water, and I guess the angle at which I hit the water, and I felt a click in my neck. And as soon as that click in my neck happened, I was like, oh man, it was 10:30 in the morning. I mean, this is going to be a bad day. And so I rode it out all day long, and the pain just wasn't letting up. Now, I had enzymes, and I had essential nutrients. I was taking anti-inflammatory. I was taking the Ligaplex. I was doing stuff, but it wasn't getting better because when the joint is out of alignment, those muscles are guarding that alignment issue to keep it from moving too much because it's out of place. And so at 10 o'clock that night, I'm on the internet, where's the nearest chiropractor? And I found this guy. I just prayed, Lord, help me find a good one. And I found this guy 30 minutes from where I was at in Kerrville. And, him and I hit it off. I mean, he was an A&M graduate. He was brilliant. I mean, we had a great time together, and he fixed me up. But my pain didn't immediately go away. It was better, and I knew it was better. And that's exactly what Curt would have said. I could tell I'm more stable, and I'm walking better, and I'm not walking crooked. But I mean, but it took another, 8 to 10 hours for it to get to about 95%. And then it was another couple hours after that, maybe 5 hours more, where that rest came in, and it was fine. And so for Curt, it's going to be that. I got him on some enzymes, and the enzymes he's taken on an empty stomach in order to decrease inflammation. And we're telling the muscles, I need y'all to calm down. It's going to be okay. He's going to make it through this, because we got him realigned.
They're nasty, by the way.
But it was wild to me. Go ahead.
Did you eat already this morning? Have you taken some of these on an empty stomach?
Not today. I haven't taken any on an empty stomach today. You have to do an hour.
30 minutes. 30 minutes either side of a meal. And because otherwise it's an expensive way to digest your food. Right?
Yeah.
And we don't want to put it in on, to digest the food. And so and then I put him on some a high dose manganese product called Ligaplex, and it's a mineral product that feeds the tendons and the muscles, so it helps his body hold the adjustment so that we can get him out of this pain state. And the pain is just a signaling. It's the body's way of telling you don't move. But we know if the dude don't move,
the dude don't groove.
That's right. So we've got to get it moving. And so that's why the sooner you get in, like 4th of July week, I had a gal get in a car wreck, and it was a pretty major car wreck. I mean, the bruises, the seatbelt bruises, the airbag blast. I mean, they were intense for both mom and the daughter, and the daughter came to see me that morning, the next morning, and we just had to go really slow and steady and get her body to start moving those areas that locked up on her from the trauma, the stress. But she responded and recovered way faster than mom. And now, granted, maybe age is a factor, but I also know that the sooner we get things repositioned back to their ideal state, the faster the healing happens. And so this is going to get better. He's going to be fine. And but he's also, I think he realized he's not, a machine. He's human, and that's a piece of humble pie. Whenever you digest that, I'm not invincible. I actually have to go get worked on every now and again.
I asked him if you gave him any home workouts or stretches or anything. He was like, no, he just told me to take it easy. Is that because how bad it was?
Yes, how bad it was. Like, and because we tried to do some mobilization drills, and his body was still kind of like, pegging to give him inflammatory responses. So we had to slow the process down, so to speak, and say, all right, we'll get there. But
I asked you this question. Well, I think you said, you're like, man, your back is really messed up.
Yeah.
And I said, is this the worst back that you've ever seen? And well, Gardy didn't believe me when I said this.
I didn't say anything one way or another. You're putting words in my mouth.
So I've seen worse, right?
Yeah.
But from an acute perspective, I mean, it was normally whenever I I do these tests in my office where I can check the integrity of muscles, and then I do an adjustment. And if I can change the integrity of those muscles and make them stronger, I know I'm moving forward.
Kurt told me that you told him he had the cutest back that you'd ever seen in your entire life. So I think that's where the mix-up was.
Maybe
the cutest back.
That might be maybe acute versus cute. His 83 IQ, he missed that. Cute.
Here's the funny part about the back thing though too. Like when I and I'm never gonna when I look with my shirt off, it got really awkward. That's why I was like, I'm never gonna
just show us, Kurt, what you got.
No, ever. But I can see my pelvis is like this still today.
Yeah, but again, the muscles are moving those joints, and so they're trying to pull us back out of alignment, and that's why, like I told you, we're gonna have to probably hit it one more time, just to make sure that we get it squared away. And but you're gonna get better. And here, we'll go ahead and start with this, and then I have a question on my end. Somebody just texted me about intermittent fasting. So this is not necessarily for adults, but I just had a bottle that I picked up yesterday at the office for my kiddos, and so this is cod liver oil gels, and they taste awesome. They're like little gummies, and you can chew these up, and they're essential fatty acids. I got about 3 to 4 of them. And what essential fatty acids do, especially in the realm of pain, and I picked these up probably a little bit because
smell
there's
good.
some pain. Oh, and kids love these, by the way. And these are just DHA Junior, and they're a re-esterified triglyceride, and they're not tampered with very much at all in order to give you the most quality essential oil that you could put in the body. And what it does is it decreases inflammation and lubricates joints and tissues throughout the body.
I wanted it to be more gummy-ish,
Or just
not
keep
just
chewing.
like plastic.
It doesn't taste bad though. It has
No.
it has very minimal flavor. Kurt's over there making a face like it's disgusting,
I
but
know
it's just not like a
I know
gummy
I've given
candy.
y'all way worse before.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It kind of burst. It's like a
I know it's kind
like a bath bead.
Try one of these. These are nasty if you chew on them.
he chewed it up
Jeez,
yesterday.
I'm so excited. Please toss one my way.
Yeah, I mean you gotta sell it better than that, Kurt. Come on.
Try one
So-
of these.
So the cod liver oil, the DHA, the EPA is so good for your kids' brains and development, as well as for your own. I mean, if you've got hormone struggle and trouble, DHA is a powerful nutrient to help. EPA is fantastic in the realm if you need mental clarity and mental function. And I'm always looking for ways to make my body perform better. Well, every tissue, every cell, every gland in the body, it has essential fatty acid layers around it as protection and for communication from one cell to the next. And so taking a daily dose of fish oil is an absolute must, but you need to make sure that it's a re-esterified triglyceride, something that is not tampered with. You don't want these ethyl ester products that 90% of all fish oils on the market are. So if you're just getting it from your local, vendor, 90% of that is not safe and not effective. So we want to make sure, I'd even say 97.5% is not safe and not effective. And so we carry, fish oil in our office that is extremely potent and that does exactly what I would want it to do and what you would want it to do to lubricate and nourish your joints and to make your brain and body and hormones work better.
Here's a question. Can a 20-month-old take them?
Absolutely. So there's no reason that you couldn't, and I wouldn't give them the gel in this case. I would crack it in your own teeth and squeeze it into their mouth and just let them kind of numb it around a little bit. And so but the fats are so good again, especially, I'm telling you, I have yet to meet one patient, even patients that come see me from other clinicians that had adequate, essential fatty acid loads. And when you don't have a good essential fatty acid base, you don't have the carrier molecules to get minerals to their destination. You don't have the ability to restore and repair the tissue as fast at the cell level. And so I always start with this. This is one of the fundamental roots that I hit every patient on because of the power that DHA, EPA, and fish oil has to offer to the body. And so, cod liver oil is just an absolute must. So Grandma was right. She was, running cod liver oil through you and castor oil through you as a kid, and that was absolutely some of the best anti-inflammatory that you could put in your body.
Castor oil, like I put in the car?
No, that's a brand.
Castro, right? Is it Castro oil? I don't know.
Castor oil, that's another essential fat, but it's really good for detoxification. You can actually make castor oil packs. Some people take castor oil to help stimulate and induce a pregnancy. You can do castor oil is like one of those home remedies that it can be used in almost any cocktail or concoction to create change.
Here's something else. It's a little bit away from the supplements, but I had asked Curt this yesterday after he had left your office. Do you have like a table that you would be able to take mobile, or is that not something that you have?
For chiropractic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it would be interesting to do that one day either in here
Why
or
don't you just come do a live show at the office?
we could do that as well.
Could have all my gizmos and gadgets and it'd be fun.
And then I had also asked Curt if you could do adjustments at our Talk of Taco cook-off October 12th. You just have like a tent set up where you're like, come on.
I ate too many tacos. And they're holding
threw
their
my back out.
I think
Threw my back out.
30 years ago, you could probably get away with that. Now there's so many legality issues like informed consents and I have done stuff like that in the past. Like whenever I think it was Harvey, I went and worked on the police officers of League City and things like that, and because those guys were like sleeping on cots and
the
floor wherever they could get at the station, uncomfortable day in and day out, and I was like, they need this, you know what I mean? But most of the time, it comes down to just like unfortunately, legalities and rules and stuff that it's not just as simple as just giving somebody an adjustment. It really is. But there is an assessment process that needs to go into, in some cases, when you're at an event where there might be tacos involved, people overindulge and abuse the taco, and all of a sudden, they don't tell you everything, and things can happen, and then, you know what I mean? So it's just not necessarily the best way. Typically, when we do, events like that, we just more of educate and present.
Give information.
But there are screenings and stuff that can be done, and maybe that's something to look at. But I can't say that I'd be adjusting per se, because again, it's just what it is. But I have a question here from a good friend of mine, I have an intermittent fasting question. Does taking supplements first thing in the morning break the fast? And the answer is no. You're not taking a high-loaded calorie that's changing your blood sugar, and so you can totally take your supplements and you can totally have water and celery juice and still not be technically breaking the fast because it's a very low calorie load into the system. And so, but they are, a lot of the nutrients that we use are food-based, but again, because the calories are not there to truly break the fast, you're using the supplements as fuel to wake your liver up or wake your lymphatics up or wake your brain up. And so that is actually, it's a lot of the products that we offer. We don't necessarily make patients take it on an empty stomach, but they work better when you put some of these things in on an empty stomach. And the reason they work better is because the nutrients come in and they don't have to they're not being digestion of a cucumber down into a molecular substrate isn't having to go down. Most of these things are already digested at some level, and then you bring them into the body, and your body can more easily break that into what your body needs it to be, and then boom, you get the value. And so that gives us our next essential fat for the morning. We're going to take some sesame seed oil. Sesame seed oil is fantastic for bone marrow stimulation. It upregulates your immune system through bone marrow stimulation, and we can increase white blood cell activity and strengthening of your immune system just by taking this stuff. I use this with kids and fevers or adults with fevers, and I use this in a lot of my sequential immune upregulation protocols. And what the whole purpose of the sesame seed oil is, and this isn't just like sesame seed oil that you're opening up in your pantry. Sesame seed oil, the way they do this is it's as preserved as it can possibly be to still give us this bone marrow stimulation. And I do 3 of them.
3?
Yeah, and chew these up. These taste just like Chinese food. These are wonderful.
I do enjoy Chinese food.
We had a great pho place yesterday, Pho 17, which is located on, it sounds like you're saying 517, but it's Pho 17.
At Bay Area and Highway 3.
Yes, it was delicious food.
Yeah, there's a comic shop that's over there. I think it's Bedrock Comics. Are you familiar with that place?
No, sir.
Yeah, so it's just Bay Area and Highway 3, but it's really good. So
they're one of our partners
reminder
here at KHEA Radio. So thank you to Pho 17 for partnering with KHEA Radio.
I like how you said that. It's good. So yeah, so these pop really well in your mouth as well.
Are you supposed to eat the capsule too, or
I just chew it all up? Yeah, I mean, 'cause it's not going to hurt anything. But I mean, and if there's any extra in there that you didn't be able to get, I want to grab it. But this is a fantastic product. I have a lot of patients that oftentimes feel a little bit of pressure increase around their head like a halo, and that's your body acclimating to an increased white blood cell activity level. And it'll last about 10 minutes, and then it goes away. And it's very, I mean, most people don't feel it, but many people do. And that happens. I see that's often a sign that your body has a deep need for, cellular, resonance uptake. We got to get the cells to take in the nutrition so that we can get a better bang for our buck and moving our health in a better direction. So a lot of these are simple, and kids love these. And these, even for the 20-month-old, if the 20-month-old had a fever, I'd be popping these little things open and squeezing them in my 20-month-old mouth, because their bodies can digest these oils really well. And again, these can also be lubricants. And most children under 26 months of age have they come with a leaky gut. The gut lining isn't fully developed. And that's why babies need mother's milk. So it's not, that's why you would think, well, why would my baby show up with, a gut that's not fully mature yet? Well, that's because they're on mother's milk. I mean, the mother's milk is providing nutrition that allows the healing and the restoration of the gut lining. And it takes approximately 26 months for the gut lining to fully mature and heal. And that's why we encourage people to breastfeed. So it's really a great thing if you are a breastfed baby or are able to breastfeed, and but don't go into the mommy guilt if you weren't able to breastfeed, or if you just particularly chose not to or whatnot. just don't give yourself that negative guilt trip, because it's so easy to go there. But the reality is, there's nothing better than mom's breast milk for gut lining restoration and immune building the babies.
Right now it's 9:27. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We're streaming live on Facebook. Share this video out right now if you're watching on Facebook. If you're listening in your car, at work on 99.5 FM, or streaming from the brand new KHEA Radio app, text a friend, share the app. You can send a link so they can download it and find out how they can listen to KHEA Radio. There's a bunch of different ways. We like to hit you every way possible. You know, we post these videos on YouTube later. For some people who don't have Facebook, we stream it on Facebook. Ideally, we're going to make it to where you can stream the video on the app. Right now, it's just the audio, which is just as good, if not better, because then you don't have to look at us. So go download the KHEA Radio app. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's been a ton of great questions that are coming in, and we're going to get those asked and answered. There was one earlier that Sarah from Prepping Sisters asked. She said CLA oil ? Do we know what that is?
Cod liver oil.
Okay, so that's
Did I
what...
say CL?
No, that was before we started we were still talking about this one.
Yeah, cod liver oil.
Okay.
Cod liver oil is I use different, brands in my office, but there's just, if it is, you have to, a lot of times you can't look on the label to see if it's a reesterified triglyceride or if it's an ethyl ester. You have to call and get the, company's write-up on the product. It's better just to know. I mean, that's why I say, hey, come to our office and let us teach you, because 2.5% of every of all the products that are used today are safe and effective. We have those in our office at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, and we're in League City, Texas. And if you need to contact us, 281-554-8600, and give us a shout out on our website, justlivewell.com. We got some great health surveys up there that can help you move your health in the direction you want it to, or assess your health and you kind of see where you're at. Because we do a lot of things in our office. It's so much more than chiropractic. It's so much more than nutrition. We are addressing lifestyle. We are addressing mindset. We are addressing longevity and vitality. And where do you want your health to be? If you've got symptom patterns, if you've got issues in your body that you aren't comfortable with, and you can tell like something's just not right, let us help you figure out why and where your body's breaking down and what you can do to start moving your health in a better direction. And that is encouraging. It gives you the confidence and the control again, so to speak, to take the bull by the horns and move your health forward.
Here's some more oils that people are asking about. Sarah said, and you may have to read this, and I think she even's questioning the spellings, bisinol linoleic acid.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
And then there's another one asking about MCT oil. This is from April. She said, I see it all over the health food stores. What is it? I don't even know.
So MCT oil is a caprylic acid, more or less. It's a medium chain triglyceride, MCT. And MCT oil and caprylic acid has the ability, very fascinating, to bypass the gatekeepers of the cells and go straight in, invited or not. It's like, having the boss man show up unexpected one day and everybody just kind of like
sits up straight.
Whoop, whoop. Everybody's on point, right? Mm-hmm. And if there's cells that aren't working like they're supposed to be, the caprylic acid of the MCT oil basically calls that cell up and makes all cell fire more effectively. So MCT is a really powerful oil. Now, that being said, MCT can also be very hard to digest. And we find that coconut oil is a great source for your MCT oil, but MCT is an extraction out of the coconut oil. And so people that have issues with coconut can still potentially do MCT. But a lot of times you want to start slow. MCT oil, we start with a teaspoon or half teaspoon. I've even had some folks that had to start at a quarter teaspoon because it, caused them to have loose bowel and feel a little bit funny, and it's because there is a detox effect. And there's a fellow that I used to run with that he did a ton of research on MCT oil, and I mean just the amount of it's almost like infection is scared of MCT oil. And so when you have infection in the body, MCT oil shows up. It's like kryptonite to them. They just wither away and bow down and say, okay, And so there's so many values that we've seen using MCT oil, and that's why you're seeing it in coffee. That's why they bulletproof the coffee, right? That's why you're seeing it now in bars and things like that, because it is a good, healthy oil. I mean, it's the amount of benefits that it has is really endless. But it all comes down to, it is a relatively new oil to your body, so your body's going to have to learn how to process it a little better. And a lot of people that can't process it, it simply comes down that you guys have a liver issue. So we want to clean up your liver and make your liver perform better. And guess what you'll be able to do? You'll start being able to break down the oil better, because your liver's performing more like God designed it to. And so if you find that you can't break down fish oil from my office, or like a MCT oil from my office, guess what? It's because I know the quality of my oil. It's your liver. It's your gallbladder. Now, I have patients that come in and say, "Oh, I burp up oils all the time. I can't do that." Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Well, that's because you are taking the wrong stuff." And it always is a liver issue and the wrong oil that they were taking. So we fix the liver, and it starts giving us the biochemistry that we need to break it down in the future.
Okay, here's another question that has to do with the oil, and then there's another one from Ashley that's not really related to this, but it's a very important question we want to get asked as well. So as far as the MCT oil goes, is it better or different than cod liver oil?
Say the question again.
Whenever you're talking about the MCT oil, is it better or different than cod liver oil?
Yeah. So
can you take them in conjunction?
Yes, you totally can. And so a lot of times, when you have, like in my world, I would do both, right? And we just did this. We did sesame seed oil and cod liver oil, and so if we did cod liver oil, sesame seed oil, and MCT oil, we would just not need to take a tablespoon of each, because that would be a little bit much in a setting. But what if we did like cod liver oil for breakfast, then we did some MCT for lunch, and then we did some sesame seed oil for dinner? Well, so now what you did is you strengthen the brain activity by starting your day with the cod liver oil. You lubricated your joints. You supported every tissue, cell, organ, gland in the body. You used the MCT oil at lunch, and now you're giving that another level of stimulation to the cell structure and waking everybody back up and calling everybody to be on high alert and focus, so that you can run through your 1 to 3 crash that everybody has. And then you come in with the sesame seed oil in the evening, for example, and this could even be black currant seed oil. I mean, it doesn't have to be sesame seed oil, but black currant seed oil would be great if you have adrenal issues, and we could restore gamma-linolenic acid into it's an omega-6 fatty acid. It's a precursor hormone for adrenal stress responses. And then sesame seed oil is fantastic for upregulating the immune side of cell of the fatty acid cell structures in the body. So it's like you're giving your body different tools throughout the day to stimulate different systems in your body. And I really like that approach. And because we do not get enough good fats, because why? In the late 1970s, we demonized fat. Fat makes you fat.
Low fat
causes you to have heart disease. Fat causes you to have high cholesterol. Fat causes all these negatives. Baloney Mahoney, man. That is not true. That's bad marketing. It's bad science, bad research, and it's a lie. The truth is that without fats, you will not have healthy hormones, and you will start to see a epidemic of low T. Oh, wait, we're there. We're seeing men running around with low T. We're seeing them pump testosterone into women. I mean, they're started, and then women hormones are so much more volatile, and we've seen women hormone issues rampant for the last 40 years, and it's because of this low-fat craze movement where we starved the fats out of the chemistry, and their tissues went cray-cray, and they started showing signs, and now we're seeing an epidemic of what? Infertility, in vitro fertility, where we're needing more and more, external support from medicine to get a baby to hold in the womb. Well, hello, when the hormones aren't healthy, it's because the fats aren't healthy, the digestion's not healthy, the liver's not healthy. We can start balancing that stuff back out, and that gets me fired up. Can you tell? I mean, I get all, get my little soapbox, and you just crank that volume up.
Logos just pop up all over the place.
That's true. We're talking to Dr. Chapa. Hey, can we ask this other question from Ashley?
Hey, throw my logo up there.
We could do that. we need a globe space thing behind it, Dr. Chop. It's actually coming. He's working on it.
He complained yesterday. He goes, "Why are you wearing a Furniture Zone T-shirt and not a Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center polo?" And I said, "Because you haven't given me one."
So, all right, Ashley, get the size.
Large,
medium,
Extra
medium,
large.
extra medium.
Can we put 83 IQ on it too?
I'm not a large. I'm an extra medium. Okay.
Hey, we could say 83 IQ plus living well is like 100 and what? What's the best IQ you can have?
144.
There you go. I like it.
Equals. It's science. It's science. The numbers check out. So here's another question from
MC
Ashley.
squared.
She said, "My kiddos are not big eaters in the morning. Do you have a protein powder or of some sort that will work for the entire household so I can make smoothies for us in the morning? I have the delicious greens powder to add to whatever you recommend. Thank you."
Yeah, absolutely. So for the kiddos, I would use the Fit Food Light Vegan, or because it is just a blood sugar stabilizer. It's a protein and it is amino acids, and it works fantastic. And it's called Fit Food Light Vegan, and you can get those over at the office. Now you could, because I think she's done our detox before, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could even use the core level, the core support that you had on the detox as well. And you would be giving a little bit of liver detox, action to the shake, which isn't necessarily necessary for the kiddos because you're just wanting a easy to, make breakfast. But if that's what you had, I mean, that stuff too has the 95% of the amino acid profile of mother's milk. So it is giving building blocks for your kiddos. And I love this idea of making sure that our kids are starting their day right, especially the kids. I mean, we all need to start our day right. A good breakfast takes you throughout the day in a very powerful way. And so I think that we need to be making breakfast the most important meal of the day. Again, we got away from it. And some of it is, intermittent fasting is a powerful thing. And people like to skip and do the MCT oil. And I think, again, that's fine. That's fine. But remember, a lot of people that are doing intermittent fasting should be using it as a tool, right? It's not like necessarily forever, because it kind of defeats the definition of the word, intermittent. And so intermittent fasting would be something that we're using intermittently
time
to time
mm-hmm.
to give the body a reset. And that reset allows the tissues to regenerate. And that's why detoxification is a powerful thing. So when people come in my office, I put them on a detox, a 3-week detox, and it has a 3-month effect because I'm giving them a vacation from stress and stimulants biochemically. And I want to change those biochemical stimulants, and I want to put better fuel in the body so the tissues can regenerate and repair and function like they're supposed to. And all of a sudden, they get more effect out of their week, their month, their year, and then they get a raise, and then they get another vacation, and then they start realizing, wow, this living healthy stuff is good.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple
Wait,
comments.
there's a scenario where I can have a second vacation?
I told you I'd look out for you.
He just loves to complain about everything.
Was that a complaint?
Yeah, you've been complaining nonstop since you got back. But
this is KHEA Radio. We, as a news break, we are a positive radio station. I have to interrupt this cycle.
There's a couple of comments that have to do with the shakes that people are wondering. So this is from Rendy. She said, "I can't drink." Well, this isn't a question; it's more of a statement. I just thought it was really good. "I can't drink my shake in front of my 20-month-old because he'll drink the whole thing and leave me none because they like the way it tastes."
Hey, that's good news. I like that.
And then here's another one from April. She said, "What's the difference between that shake that you're talking about and the OptiCleanse GHI?"
Very good, yeah. So the GHI is, if you look at the G, it stands for gut, and the H is for liver, and the I is for immune. So that product has, again, a high-dose amino acid profile, gut health support, liver health support, and immune properties to it. And so it's primarily the difference between the GHI, which you could totally do as well, and the Fit Food, is the Fit Food only has the amino acid profile, and it has blood sugar support, and it is a protein shake. Whereas the GHI is going to give you a lot of other things system-wise, like the gut and liver health and immune, that the Fit Food wouldn't necessarily be targeting. But, and then I think, the other big difference is just cost, because you get other herbs and nutrients piled into the GHI. And so realistically, I would love for you to just leave them on the core support of the GHI because you're going to get those liver immune benefits. But, sometimes whenever you have your 20-month-old gobbling down shakes and you want one too, and then maybe another kid wants some, and now all of a sudden you're going through, powders in 10 days, it gets costly. So we have other, shake options to try to minimize the amount of cost you're spending. But I don't really want to be one that puts price on good health, especially for our youth who in this age, we're seeing everything from, weight issues to pre-onset diabetes, pre-onset heart issues, developing earlier and earlier in our youth. And so, it's really not a conversation of the difference would be, I think you should go with the GHI and the core support. But if, cost was an issue, I'd do Fit Food.
Okay, so this is ribonucleic acid. How many of these do we take? And then I have one more question about the shakes.
Yeah, so you're going to do 2 to 3 of those as well. And so ribonucleic acid is a cellular upregulator, and it's great brain food, man. This stuff, it's Jennifer was at a seminar, and a doc convinced her to take 12 of these a day. And and 12 a day, I'm telling you. And I'm like, I never really used it much because it was supposed to be good for kids that study a lot and need brain function and power. And so this would be a great, give your kid this going out the door, before school, because they'll focus better. And if you can hit them at lunch, get them that at lunch too. But it is a supplement. It is a pill. They're not going to let you do it. But, interestingly enough.
Do we chew it or swallow?
You can swallow it. But I'm so proud of Curt. He's just over there just chomping on the bit. He just chews it right up. But it's going to be a real powerful brain food, and inside of 10, 15 minutes, your brain's just going to light up, and you will learn better, you will memorize better, you will retain better, and so ever since Jennifer got me started to take 12 of these a day, it's one of my favorite things. I have this.
That's
at
what
the
you're
office.
doing? 12 a day?
Yeah,
Nice.
And I start my day with it. Any time I do any type of learning, seminaring. Online coursework. I got a test coming up. Ribonucleic acid and this next one, Bacopa, are in my arsenal for sure.
All right, so right now it is 9:45. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. I see some people tuning in that are excited for the Cookie Lady, who is coming in after you. We're talking health and nutrition. Then we have the Cookie Lady, who's going to be talking health and nutrition as well. I went and looked at her page, and she offers some keto options when it comes to cookies, so that'll be fun.
That's pretty awesome.
It can help people stay on track.
Oh, absolutely. We live in a world today where people have a very sweet tooth palate, right? And so we have to balance out those the sweet tooth palate, but it is nice to have options for healthy sweet tooth fanatics, and so people feel like they're not completely deprived, and I totally respect that and get that. And I think that I forget a lot of times, and I've gotten better. I don't forget as much these days in recognizing that I was there once too, and it's taken me a lot of detoxing, a lot of lifestyle modifications, a lot of disciplines to break my my addiction to food, and my emotional connection to food. But at the end of the day, my little daughter was baking in the kitchen last night too, making cookies and stuff like that, using almond flour, and then I think she's made one with a gluten-free, some other gluten-free flour. And so there's so many options today, where in the past we didn't have those options. You know what I mean? And so it's really cool to see people get creative in the kitchen and learn how to use these different flours, because my mom came into town and staying with us this morning or last night, and she made pigs in the blanket, but she made it with buckwheat, and she literally took a pancake, buckwheat pancakes, and she stuck a piece of bacon in the middle of it, put a little batter on top of that, and you can't necessarily see the bacon, but kind of just barely poking out, and it's like a pancake bacon sandwich. And had my kids not ate it all up, I'd have brought y'all one. But it was been like taking candy from a baby. That would have been right.
Sounds delicious. I love pigs in a blanket. Right now I'm doing this 6-week challenge with the Iron Den out of League City, and part of that is eating a certain
meal
diet.
structure.
And so this is my last week.
This morning. What's going on?
I already ate.
Oh, okay.
I ate before you got in here.
Okay,
But it's just
before.
those protein pancakes which you had seen before, and they're really good, and it's easy to pop. And I think I finished them all today, but sometimes I don't finish it all just because I don't know. But it's interesting. I like that, doing prepped food, whether I try and do it myself or get it from somebody else, because then it's like, eat this, and your results will come, and we'll monitor. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier that I can't even goof it up.
So
which
what
is
was
important.
the other question on shakes? Did you say that
It was my question.
Oh,
It's
you
my
had-
question.
Oh,
Yeah. So here's the question
I,
that I have.
I don't see it.
Whenever we were doing the detox, whenever we were cleansing, we were doing the core support and the glucosamine and like other pills and everything else. So one thing that I noticed is that taste was in my mouth strong. Like I'd have to brush my teeth like periodically throughout the day because I feel like my breath was kicking. I don't know if it was like from my liver. And then like talking to Curt, he was on the same diet, and I was just like, we're just like bad breathing each other over here, back and forth. And I'm just like, dude, this is strong. Is that a part of the powder,
detox.
or that's
the
detoxing?
That's your liver releasing, outgassing, and toxins and trash, because that's what it's doing. I mean, it is literally, and I don't want to say forcing, but in a sense, strongly encouraging or assisting the body to convert through a process called cytochrome P450 enzymes, squeezing fat cells, the toxins that are in there, through an intermediate metabolite into something that you can pee out, sweat out, breathe out, and poop out. And so what you were feeling when that was happening, that bad breath is also why people get, ringlets under their armpits. They get red rashes under their arms. I mean, not that I was like judging or, looking at somebody's armpits the other day at the swimming pool, but there was a dude laid out. He was completely, out cold sleeping, and we're playing catch in the pool and stuff like that, and our ball went over by his thing, and so I looked over there, and he's got these giant red rashes under his arm, and you're like, I'm like, that's a liver problem, I'm like,
you just drop them off some supplements. You're like, here you go.
Right.
So thank me later.
You'll thank me later.
I do get those every once in a while.
Yeah,
but it changes when I change my deodorant.
Or do you ever have anybody ever complained that you have like a onion-like smell underneath your armpits? And that's dirty lymphatics and congested liver.
Himself, he was like me,
Yeah,
just
like,
me.
Yeah, every morning I love onions, and so, but it's not that. It's not onions that are causing it. I mean, it's a biochemical makeup in your body due to toxicity of the lymphatics and the liver. And when we clean those systems out, bad breath goes away, rashy armpits or onion armpits go away. I mean, and it's fascinating, guys. I mean, we are in more control of our bodies than we realize if we just appreciate what is possible. And what I'm trying to do every week with you guys and with my patients every day is just tell stories. I mean, I literally got home from the gym and yesterday morning, and I'm sitting here taking all my supplements that I do after my workout routine, and I go, man, I'm so blessed to know this stuff, and it must be just terrible that people don't know. They look at the arsenal of stuff I take, and they think that I'm just aimlessly throwing pills back. No. Everything I take is designed to focus a job I want done in my body. And especially after a workout when you've torn it down, or if I was in Curt's situation in pain, what the things that I would be doing, to strengthen my tissues back, and to recognize that my body is breaking down, and I'm not a machine. I am human. I've got to do things a little different whenever I'm, how old are you, Curt? 30?
He coming up on the big 3-1.
Whoa, settle yourself. So they say people start feeling 30. I mean.
This is as good as it's going to get, Curt.
Yeah,
I still have 2
all
years.
downhill from here, bud.
I have 2 years to get my body where I want it to be when I'm in heaven. I got 2 years.
What does this mean? What's your
you're
reasoning?
dying in 2 years?
No, at 33, that's the body that you have when you go to heaven.
Who told you this?
Pastor Hallam.
No, he
said
did
it
not.
in the message.
He probably said, well, because
I would
Jesus,
like to
oh, God.
get more insight on that. We can't open that can of worms. I don't think we have the time. But Pastor Hallam could probably share it with us.
Didn't he say that?
No, you hear what you want to hear. No, he did not.
I have 2 years to get my body in prime condition. And then after that, it doesn't matter.
Okay, whatever you say.
Okay, Curt, we're just gonna move on. But let's see. It is absolutely, it is amazing though that if you have symptom patterns that you weren't genetically born with, I mean, your body wants to get well. It wants to heal. And this Thursday night, we got a great class for you moms out there that want healthy kiddos and just to be a healthy mom. Dr. Amber's going to teach a cool class at 6:30 at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center in League City, Texas, 77573. 77573, I think.
That's League City.
Yeah, I think so. 281-554-8600. I'm like, why am I giving a zip code? Nobody cares.
For the phone number, zip code, it's all the same numbers.
But visit our website at justlivewell.com and come hang out with us at 6:30 p.m. This Thursday night at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, and you will be blessed. You'll learn a lot of good insights. I mean, and it's endless, guys. There's so many cool things that you can incorporate into your day-to-day living, into your day-to-day lifestyle, into the way you think and the way you act in and around social circles and food, and you can make a positive influence on many people around you. And we want you to be salt to people and recognize not only do they need Jesus, but they also need to take care of this vessel they've been given, and this vessel they've been given can be under their direction and control if they learn the principles that we teach at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. So we're all about teaching people, how to live better, be better, one bite at a time. And it just starts with a decision. You gotta. It's your life, your health, your choice, and we want you to know that you can be the best version of you each and every day.
Hey, Solion, what's up? Good morning. Ashley, I'm 33 as well. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video out. Let us know what you got going on. We're excited to be talking to Dr. Aaron Chapa. Every Tuesday, we answer the questions that you ask, that you feed to us, and Dr. Chapa answers them.
Why spend money going to a regular doctor to get your questions asked when you can just ask him right here for free?
Yes.
Chapa, you messed up. You giving people a free option to get a hold of you?
I know. But hey, I love, I've really enjoyed, I've always wanted to have a voice, of encouragement, and because people just don't know, this is, I remember doing my first gallbladder flush, and I passed literally 70 gallstones. And just for those that know, these aren't the kind of stones you pee out. You poop these ones out, so it wasn't painful.
Good.
And so it's a painless process. And I remember talking to a friend of mine, from high school, and I was telling him how I was just all excited about it, how much better I felt. He goes, dude, you need to be careful. You could really hurt yourself. And I'm like, dude, I've seen you in more fist fights than I've seen that I've ever been in my life, and I'm not going to hurt myself. But it's amazing. We think some of these things are that they're foreign to our brain. That means that they might be dangerous, and they might be. But when under the direction and guidance of Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center, you can rest assured that every clinician in our office has been trained to serve you and work with you and help you be your best each and every day. And I love the idea of giving this information away as much as I can. And I want to say good morning. Hi, Kenley. I'm glad that you're tuning in this morning and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and hope you're enjoying the pigs in the blanket.
What does summer look like at the Chapa household?
Oh, man, the last couple weeks has been nuts. Today, my wife has taken Kenley up to College Station. My son went off to church camp yesterday. We went to a family church camp a few weeks ago. VBS was last week. And so it's getting ready for the we homeschool, so we have to use the summers to kind of prep and get ready for that. And so it's just it's never a dull moment at the Chapa Casa. Never a dull moment. So
I can imagine
it's always fun.
You have lizards and stuff
Oh, dude! Now I decided to try my hand at the feeders that feed the lizard. They're green tomato worms. And these guys, they grow so quick that he can't eat all of them in a week. So I decided, well, what do I do with them? And they said, oh, just pupate them. I'm like, what'd you just say to me? I'm like, pup what? And so I put them in a cage, and they pupate. They turn into a moth. I now learn how to they've been pupating for the last 2 weeks, and now I've got 7 moths flying around a cage eating sugar water.
That's awesome.
And now they're supposed to breed and make more tomato worms. And so I literally have a little ecosystem at the Chapa Casa, man.
That's what it's all about.
It's pretty awesome.
Spreading some positivity and helping our ecosystem.
Yeah, that's right.
And our bodies all at the same time.
So anyway, we're wrapping up, and I just want to let everybody know I'm so glad that you guys tune in every week. I hope that you guys continue to tune in, support us. I share this message. If you know a friend, family, a loved one, somebody that's dealing with a health issue, and you find something in, our talks that would be encouraging to them to get them started on their journey. You've been telling them for years, but they just won't listen. Maybe hearing it from a third-party source. Let this be a venue that they can leverage and use to give to that gift of health to somebody else. And so every week we're here. Come visit us at justlivewell.com or our office. Give us a call at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center at 281-554-8600. And remember, all life starts and stops at the cellular level, and nutrition is the fundamental backbone that allows your body to get control and move into the direction you want, or to spiral out of control. So we want you guys to know that you're in control. It's your life, your health, and your choice. Give us a call today, 281-554-8600, and let us help you in your health journey. God bless you all.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Stay tuned. When we come back on the FM, we're going to have the Cookie Lady in studio. If you're watching on Facebook, you're going to see the behind the scenes with the Cookie Lady. This is The Young Escape on KHEA Radio.
Now, is she going to she already got the cookies prepped and ready? And
I think she said she has some samples.
Is there an oven? I want to see the
them.
cookies made.
Awesome.
I promise I didn't. Chop up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you
See
saying?
you Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, please reach out.
It still hurts.
I still hurt. It's okay. Just you'll be okay. Just
As long as you don't do the towel one again.
Oh, that was the best.
That one hurt.
We probably don't have to, but yeah, that one's a little.
so who's excited to talk
Thanks,
about
Papa.
some of the cookies that are coming out of our area? So we're going to be learning a lot about the Cookie Lady and what she offers, how you can get some, where you can find out more information. So I'm excited to learn because this is our first time to meet her. It looks like there's some people that are excited to chat and find out what she has going on, or they already know and they want to support. If you support, feel free to share this video out to your Facebook friends feed so that way they can learn how they can get some of these cookies that I think there's some in studio. There's people saying like, hey, there may be samples. We've already had staff members that are throughout our building wondering if there are samples.
Oh,
So
now they want to listen to us. There's food in our studio, and they're
Yeah,
like, okay,
sure.
now we're listening to KHEA Radio.
So what's your name?
Allie Houston.
Allie Houston. That's a good name.
Yeah, it's appropriate for the area.
It is. Are you from this area?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
From Syracuse, New York, originally, and lived up there for a few years. Moved to Florida, went back to school in New York, and then met my husband and ended up in League City.
How'd y'all end up in League City?
He's from here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's local.
He was in New York though.
Yeah, we both met at school in New York.
What were y'all going to school for?
Music performance. So yeah.
Awesome.
Music to cookies?
I know it's a kind of a crazy jump, but while I was in school for music, I worked at a bakery, Magnolia Bakery in New York, and I've always baked, but I really enjoyed that, and then I've kind of always come back to baking. So
were you baking in New York? Or
no,
focusing on school, I assume,
well,
right?
yeah, mostly focusing on school. I did some baking, but mostly my job there was icing cupcakes. I iced hundreds and hundreds of cupcakes every shift. So.
What school were you at?
New York University.
Okay, NYU.
Yeah.
Do you miss it? Did you like that experience living in New York and going to NYU and working?
I did. I loved it there. City was awesome. It's a totally different vibe than living here, of course. But I mean, I loved it. I miss some things. I don't miss the crazy expensive rent we paid, and I don't miss having to carry all your groceries in your hands because
You walk.
car. You walk everywhere. So yeah, that was not fun. But
Yeah, the corner store. I like New York. I hadn't been in a couple of years, but it's always fun to go.
Yeah.
My wife, she had went to Parsons for a bit, and so it's a different speed, but there's so much to do and all different flavors. So you end up back in League City, and did you miss New York? That's
yeah. It
Yeah.
was a bit of it wasn't too much of a culture shock, but yeah, there was definitely an adjustment period where I was like, what am I doing with my life? I mean, it's just, you don't have the same pace.
Yeah, from Syracuse to Florida, back to New York, and then you moved to League City how many years ago?
We moved in 2012, so right after graduation, we came down here. So.
Okay. Did you immediately start baking and doing your own thing, or how did life take you?
Honestly, I started this about 3 or 4 years ago over the holidays. I just kind of started baking cookies, and I posted them on like Facebook Marketplace for sale, and people started buying them. And it was always kind of like a side thing that I did when I had spare time, but now it's kind of taken over my life a little bit, and that's okay. I love it. But the keto cookie thing has been what I've been most busy with. And actually, it was just a customer who had bought regular iced sugar cookies from me who went on a diet, and she's like, I love your cookies, but I can't eat them right now. Can you make me something that's, low carb, no sugar? I'm like, well, I'll try, So through lots of trial and error, I made her some cookies, some other things, and she's like, these are great. I'm going to start posting them on these pages. I'm like, okay, go.
The keto groups.
Yeah,
There's
go
people
ahead.
that would love that, right?
Right, exactly. And I kept getting busier and busier, and now that's pretty much all I do is keto cookies.
How long ago was that you first developed those keto options?
That was about a year ago now, I think. So.
Okay.
Are there keto cookies out there? Like, I've never heard. We partner with Cupcake Cache, and they do keto cupcakes.
Right.
But I've never heard of keto cookies.
Right. I haven't honestly seen keto cookies, so that's kind of a. Like I said, I've seen the cupcakes. I've seen some cakes even. I've seen the bread, the Marina's bread and stuff. But yeah, the cookies are kind of a unique thing. I haven't found them. So, and I keep trying to add more flavors because obviously I started with like one or two. I started with the chocolate chip, which I have today. Those have been one of the most popular. They're almost like little cakes. And anyway, I've been trying to add new flavors every season so people don't get bored.
Okay, awesome. So we got 2 minutes. We're going to go on the FM. We're talking on Facebook. Again, if you have any questions and you have tried these cookies, give us the feedback. Maybe let us know what your favorite flavor is, or if you have an idea for a new innovation. What comes next? Keto cookies are only a year old.
Right.
Like, what will they think of next,
I know.
Keto pancakes.
I'm sure they have keto pancakes.
They have mixes. I just saw someone post in one of the keto groups. There's a pancake mix now.
Yeah.
I haven't tried them yet. But.
Yes, yesterday we were talking to Cool Cow Creamery as we were in Toucan Alley in KHEA, and they are working on like sugar-free options for ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have diabetes, or some people are on certain diets, and they're working on it, but they haven't released anything because getting it right and on par with everything else that you're used to doing, that's a big
It's
thing,
hard.
right?
Yeah, I mean, everything I make, I test before I let anyone purchase it. So yeah, I mean, the first few batches were very scary. I wasted a lot of ingredients. It's hard to bake them. They kind of flatten out. You have to do it a certain way for them not to be either burnt and flat or too soft.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a learning curve, the whole process, but.
Do you have a lot of volunteers that are willing to be the taste testers?
Yeah, my husband is the primary taste tester, and he's a willing taste tester. So, and yeah, I've tested on my family and stuff, his family in the area. So.
Okay, so we got about 40 seconds, and then we're going to go on. I want to talk about music. I mean, do you still do music? Does he do music as well?
No, he does not really. He's actually a flight attendant, so
Cool.
He's on his way to KHEA today. He's doing that, but so he doesn't really do music anymore. I still teach music lessons during the school year, so I teach privately.
Is it piano or guitar? Oboe.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Kurt, we need to get you some oboe lessons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'll bring the oboe. Yeah.
I'm curious because I don't know off the top of my head what an oboe sounds like, but I'm imagining something.
I was a world-class singer. I didn't need an oboe.
You
There
can
you
just
go,
make the
yeah.
noise with your mouth. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name is Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It's 10:06. It's Tuesday. We had Dr. Aaron Chapa in studio talking about living well, clinical nutrition. Now we're switching it up. And it's not necessarily on the opposite end of the spectrum, but I feel like it's a continued journey. Whenever you're trying to change your lifestyle, diet is the most important thing.
Dieting is hard.
It is hard. What do
Wait,
you do? What do you do whenever you're like on a diet, Kurt? What does a diet look like for you?
Desserts.
Desserts.
I need desserts. I feel like I can't diet if I can't dessert. Like, that's the worst part. Like, I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I want a cheesecake. I want chocolate.
Buttercream.
I want s'mores.
Ice
I
cream,
want
cookies.
Little Debbie's. I want cookie dough. All of those. And it's just like, you can't.
No.
And then you accidentally like buy the whole thing, and then you're like, well, now I got to eat it while I'm on this diet.
Yeah. So we have a guest that is going to be talking about cookies and something that can help keep you on track. So we have Miss Houston. How are you doing?
Good, doing well.
Allie, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Cookie Lady. First of all,
Yeah.
how did you get the name the Cookie Lady?
Okay, so the name, I know it's not the most original name, but it does have meaning. When I was a little kid, every day when I would come home from school, there was an elderly lady in our neighborhood who would give all the kids cookies. And if you ran over to her door and knocked on her door, she'd have out this pack of cookies and everyone would get one. And we all called her the Cookie Lady. And that was kind of where my love of cookies started, was with her. So that's exactly where the name came from. So it does have meaning, even though it sounds like the most basic, boring name. But
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
I asked Kurt because he wasn't here yet, and we were typing up the description for this video
Right.
and doing a little bit of, I wanted to check out your page.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I wonder if it got put in the calendar as like he talked to somebody and he was like, oh yeah, this is the Cookie Lady, you know? So I was like, or is that the name of the business?
is this a legitimate thing?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if it
Yeah.
was actually her name of her business wasn't the Cookie Lady.
Right.
No, it wouldn't
And,
be hilarious. I would feel terrible. It was just like
okay.
So what's the name of your thing? The Cookie Lady. No. I know
really?
you're the Cookie Lady, but what's the name of your business?
Right, that's what it was. I thought back to that memory. I was like, well, seems like an appropriate and perfect tribute to her, and that's where it came from. So
You know, I also like doing that with this sweatshirt that I got from Guess.
mm-hmm.
And they always go, where'd you get that sweatshirt? And I'm like, Guess. And they're like, I don't want to guess. Where'd you get it? I'm like, Guess. It's
And
so
you're
fun.
telling them, yeah.
Besides the Cookie Lady, were there any other names that were in the running when you were trying to pick that name?
Not really. I mean, it kind of happened very organically.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot
I was
of,
thinking like the cookie
Yeah.
plug, like
Yeah.
I'm the hookup, the cookie connection.
Right, yeah.
I'm the Cookie Monster.
Right.
That one may be
Cookie
taken,
Monster.
but I got
Right.
your cookies, you know.
Mhm.
So it's the Cookie Lady. That's what it's
Right.
called. You can search it on Facebook. It's very easy to find. Pops up, and you can see as soon as you look at the page. The thing that makes you different from anybody else that we've seen is there's keto options.
Right.
Why are there keto options?
There's keto options. It was first for a customer of mine that wanted them, and then it was for myself. I was trying to not eat so terribly. I have a sweet tooth, and I wanted something that was going to be a little less sugar filled and more in line with like a low carb diet. So that's where it started. I just started experimenting with different recipes, and then I would make a bunch, and I would just kind of post what I had available, and people really seemed to like them. I'm selling probably about anywhere from 4 to 5 dozen a day on a slow day,
Wow.
up to 10 or 15 dozen on the weekends. Usually is busier.
Is it just
And-
you, or do you have a team? How does it work?
It's just me.
Just you, one
Yep.
one person army.
One woman show. Yeah, one woman. And I'm still cottage kitchen, so I'm working on my house right now. So yeah, that's usually about 15 dozen is the max for a day, just be space constraints.
How are you taking orders?
Mostly Facebook messages. I don't have a online website system set up just yet, but that's probably in the works to make it a little bit more streamlined. But yeah, anyone can send me a message and place an order, and then again I post what I have available that day. If I have excess, or if I've just had time to bake some, I'll just post, and then people can claim that way.
Before we went on the FM, we were talking a little bit about your background. So you're from Syracuse, New York, moved to Florida, went back to school at NYU, ended up in League City in around 2012, right?
Right.
So how has this area, Galveston County, League City, has it been like a welcoming experience? I'm sure, and you may disagree, but is it different from the other places that you lived, and how so?
It is different. It's very unique. There's a lot of local pride and spirit that I didn't feel that always living in Florida. New York definitely has its own personality, but it was very welcoming moving here, and the community's been very warm and kind. I've really enjoyed my time here so far, so
Yeah.
it was a good move.
Here's a comment from Marianne. She said the Cookie Lady is a pug lover. Is that true?
That is true. That is very true.
Do you have a dog?
I have 2 pugs, and I foster 4 Pug Hearts of Houston. So I've got a foster pug at my house currently. So 3 pugs. That's usually my number. Sometimes I have more, but
Yeah.
yes, pugs are our favorite breed. So.
Yeah. Why is that important to you to foster?
Well, I've didn't always know how bad the animal overpopulation was, especially living up north. We always bought our pets. There was no other choice. The shelters weren't full. But moving down here, Houston has a terrible animal overpopulation. And you would think pugs are kind of a fancy breed of dog. You wouldn't necessarily think there would be a need. But there's over 100 pugs usually in our rescue at any given time. We're just one group. So there's definitely a need, and it feels good to give back and help out the community in that way.
So here is a comment from Ashton, and he said, "Pug lover, keto cookie maker, oboe player." You know, like on Facebook, it has like a little description you can put. Is that kind of the summary, or is there anything else we're missing?
No, those are the highlights. Yeah, I mean, I have kind of a very eclectic life, I guess you could say. But yeah, pugs, music, traveling, and making lots of cookies. So.
Yeah. Well, we talked about you attending NYU, and you actually went there for music,
right?
And I'm guessing, is that like an oboe performance thing? That's
music
what you
performance.
went. How'd you get into the oboe?
Well, my grandma demanded I go to band camp one summer, and I was not happy about that choice.
How old were you?
I was 12, so
Okay.
I knew everything. It was a very, very set in my ways. But I did not want to go. She's like, "No, it's only 1 week. You'll go. It'll be fine. You'll have fun. You're sitting at home bored." So I went, and of course they're like, "Oh, you should play oboe. It'd be great." And I was good at it, so I kept going and going, and then they said the scholarship words. My mom and dad were like, "Oh,
Ding!
Great, yeah, go." And I did. It was successful in that way, so I did get most of my college paid for, which was awesome. It was still expensive, but anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of how that happened, and I performed a lot through the city, obviously, while I was there, and I still teach privately, and I don't perform tons anymore. I'm more focused on the teaching, but I still do gigs occasionally. So around the holidays.
You want to know the funniest part? Is I've also heard not only do you bake cookies, play the oboe, and everything else that you're doing, but you're also a bank robber.
Yeah, I know. I should.
You robbed banks?
Yeah, that's
What happened?
right. Yeah, the Escape KHEA.
The
yeah.
vault.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You've done the vault
we did
already?
the vault. Yeah, we did a test group. We were test group number 5. We were the ones that got the most money so far.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
It's like
80,000.
Yeah.
I wish it was real. Like, that'd be awesome. I could pay off all my loans. Yeah. No, it'd be great. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a really good experience. I hadn't gotten a chance to go down there and try it out yet, but it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't gone, you should go.
Well, we were there yesterday, but we didn't have the opportunity to do
the vault.
The vault.
Yeah.
Man, but like the way it's set up, there's an ATM in there, which is a legit ATM, and they've used it for the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun.
They don't let us in there because we said, no, we have to have our GoPros on our heads like the whole time. I'm like, you can't. You'll give away all the secrets.
That's true. You would, yeah.
Well, we'd probably make it out with $0, so we wouldn't give away too many secrets.
We did the fear room together.
It was fun.
And
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. We barely made it out because Gardy was being hard-headed and not letting us do it the way that I wanted to do it.
Which would have been the right way, probably. Right?
It was the right way to do it. No?
I remember how it goes, but there's reality, then there's like Kurt's reality. So
Right.
we just let him live in his world, and everybody's okay. So right now it's 10:16. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We're streaming live on Facebook as well. If you're watching, feel free to share this out. Post it in Talk of League City. Post it in some of your Facebook groups. Maybe tag a friend, text a friend, tell them to hang out with us. You can also stream us at KHEARadio.com. And there's a brand new app that we have.
Yeah, all you have to do is search for KHEA Radio in the App Store or the Google Play Store. There's already a bunch of people who have it. I think I'd counted the numbers in the 3. I guess we launched it May 16th, so it hasn't been very long.
And then we didn't tell anybody for like a week and a half.
No, and so we're
Secret.
just over 300 downloads, which is awesome.
Thank you so much to everybody
So,
who's already downloaded it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I thought it would be like 10. And it was like all my devices. Okay, I downloaded it on the iPad. I downloaded it on my phone. And then I took my kid's iPad because, of course, they have one. And I downloaded it on theirs, too. So
No, yeah,
that's awesome.
Nearly
Thank you.
300 because there's 200-something Apple downloads and then just over 100 Android. So
Cool. So we're talking to Allie Houston about everything that she has going on. She is the cookie lady. And if you're looking for that cookie hookup, and maybe even some keto options, which is kind of still mind blowing that they have those.
So here's the question I have, because I saw this come up from one of your fans. Said something about you went from a keto. There you go. Emily said that again. You went from doing a keto cookie to a keto cheesecake. Can you kind of tell us what a keto cheesecake is?
Yeah, it's really very similar to it's almost identical to your New York style cheesecake. It's just subbed out the sugar essentially. So it tastes very similar.
So you're from New York. Obviously, you went to school in NYU.
Right.
What is a New York style cheesecake? Like, what makes it that style?
Yeah, to me, it's like a nice, thick, creamy piece of cheesecake. It's not this like little short, thin cheesecake. It's a nice, thick slice of cheesecake with a good crust.
Okay.
So it's not anything crazy fancy. It's not overdone with a bunch of toppings. It's just like standard cheesecake. To me, that's what screams New York.
I love cheesecake. Right now, and I've actually just got a text about it. Like my diet, and I'm always on something, right? You know, trying to, hey, stick to this, stick to that.
Right.
But it's really cool that there's options now that you can eat and not feel like you just ruined.
Right.
I ruined my life, my lifestyle, and I fell off the wagon. But these are great options, so it's pretty cool.
When we were at the League City, not the League City, the Texas City Lamarck Chamber of Commerce luncheon, that cheesecake was good. And I felt bad. So we were sitting next to the Doyle family, and they're awesome. And
They are, yes.
I'm not, and I had a hard time containing myself. I'm like, no, don't beg for another one.
Let me share this. So our table was not full. There were some open spots, but they had set down cheesecake at every single spot.
Right.
And so I'm watching this family, and it was interesting because it was a lot about self-control and just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, I took a bite of cheesecake and they slid it away. And I look at Curt, and he's like licking the plate. And here's the thing: like, I didn't eat mine because I was trying to stick to my plan that I'm on, and there was a couple extra, and I was like, please, Curt, don't ask me to like pass you these cheesecakes. Please don't embarrass me.
I was holding back.
Please don't. Our first Texas City Chamber, Lamarck Chamber of Commerce event, and we're sitting with this awesome family who welcomed us here. Please don't embarrass me by like eating it. Like, are you gonna finish that after? Like, you only took one bite. You didn't eat it?
Oh, I held back. But I did at one point. I like slapped the table and the knife. The knife like shot food at the family.
Oh, nice.
And she was. I think her name's Stephanie. Is that right?
Yeah, Stephanie Doyle. She's like the president of the Texas City Education Foundation.
And she's
it
wearing
landed on her all white outfit on her dress, like pink. And everybody at the table was like,
They're all
boom, and watched it land on her lap. And Curt was like, oh, did I? And obviously he did it. Obviously, everybody saw it. Everybody in the whole building saw. Hundreds of people. I feel like everybody's eyes were on that.
And she's like, this is why we have napkins. And I was like,
she did.
Wow.
Out of everything that happened that day, I've learned this. This
is why we have napkins.
I like having lunch meetings,
Right.
but I hate lunch meetings because
Etiquette.
Yeah.
My mom like made fun of me all the time when I was growing up. Like, Curt, do not chew with your mouth full. Curt, like don't talk with your mouth full.
I don't think she was making fun of you, Curt. She was trying to raise you. Like, there's a difference.
Teach you.
Mom, quit making fun of me. I want to put my elbows on the table. And
Yeah, this is why you don't put your elbows on the table, because you hit the knife and it sends food flying onto people's I was like, out of all I'm just glad it was like just a little speck. See, I also hate sitting that close to people because Curt has a spitting issue. I don't know if everyone has ever noticed this.
Oh, wow. I've never noticed as I like wipe my glasses, like windshield wipers over here.
So awkward. I hate it.
I don't like eating around you too close for that reason, because I'm just like watching you spit in my food and I'm just like, it tastes better now. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat it anyways.
Dang.
I'm hungry. It's my food. If you spit on the keto cookies, I'm still going to eat them. Like,
my
that's
germs.
just me.
What was that Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for that rant. We just kind of took it a little way.
It's okay.
We're talking.
But it's about food, so we're still on the same subject.
Talking to Allie Houston. She is the cookie lady. There's keto cheesecake, New York style cheesecake. I also see some other comments. Are there brownies?
I haven't done brownies yet, so that could happen though.
So that's an option potentially. Are there any other things that could be in the works? Like maybe you haven't started it yet, but hey, it's in the back of the
It's in
head.
the
You're not
back
spinning.
burner. I have done some cupcakes. I've done cakes. I had a request for a birthday cake, it was a double chocolate cake with chocolate buttercream, and that turned out really well. And yeah, I've done some cupcakes, which I'm trying to decide if I want to keep those and offer them daily or just special order. But I know there's other people doing that, so there's more competition. And then I did experiment with a keto bread loaf. It's almost almost like a pound cake, but it's savory.
Oh yeah.
I brought you some of that to try too.
Wow.
So it's got everything but the
Kurt worked up a little bit.
That's brand new. I just was experimenting with that literally 2 days ago. I've sold a few of them, but I brought some of that. It's everything but the bagel seasoning in a loaf form. And it's keto friendly.
As far as texture, as far as consistency, does it compare to any other cookies? Is there something similar or is it totally different?
I think they're pretty similar to a normal cookie. But you all can try.
Okay.
And let me know what you think. But
Are you going to ask
they're pretty
another
similar.
question, or
Yeah.
are you going to let her have us
you
try
want
these?
to try? Yeah.
I'm scared if she opens it, you're
all
gonna
be-
fling them all over the studio.
I'm
You're gonna start
flip
spitting on
this
all the
tape.
cookies.
It was so funny because when Gardy's on a diet, he's not thinking about oh, I'm gonna taste test this. He can't. Well, are you gonna try some because they're keto?
I want to take a bite.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna eat a
all-
dozen cookies, but
No, yeah, I brought you all samples. But yeah, no, there's
Alright.
less than 3 carbs for each cookie.
So I'm gonna take some pictures.
Yeah, go
There's a lot of people watching, sometimes when we do stuff too. So I want to
So
trying
yeah.
to do my best.
Oh no, in the bag, there's glazed lemon, there's snickerdoodle, and the chocolate chip. So
Where's the cheesecake?
no cheesecake.
He's
No
upset.
cheesecake.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
flip
I
this
know.
table.
Is this one chocolate chip?
Yes, the little
I'm gonna take a bite of
cake-looking
this.
ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I texted Crystal, who is one of our employees here, former intern, now works part-time at the church.
That's good.
I think I said, hey, you can come and try these, and she's nowhere to be found now.
She may be watching on the stream or have it on, but yeah, if you're in the building and you want to try one, come grab one. That's delicious. I just had one. So these are all keto. There's dishes. These are all keto options.
They're also gluten-free too. All of them.
Gluten-free.
Yeah, if you're gluten intolerant, they are gluten-free.
And here she
Cookies.
is. We have
Yeah.
some cookies.
Right
You
here,
can-
you can have one of mine.
You can have
All of them.
All of them are keto.
You can have one of mine too. I took a
Yep.
bite of this one, but pick whatever you would like.
There's lemon, snickerdoodle, and chocolate chip.
You can take a couple or take whatever you want. Yeah. So this is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We're hanging out with Allie Houston, the Cookie Lady. She has an Instagram. She has a Facebook page. If you search the Cookie Lady, it'll pop up. I already see some people that said they went and gave your page some love.
Oh, good.
Smash the like button so that way you can follow and also order, learn more information. She's slinging these out every day. A
Yep.
ton on the weekends.
Pretty much.
So if somebody wants to pick up some, even today, are they able to?
I think I've got 1 dozen left for today. So
Is it mainly pre-order? Hey, you can get them tomorrow.
mainly pre-order if you want a large quantity or if you want something specific. Otherwise, I try to bake a variety of 2 to 4 flavors a day and kind of make mixed batches. People can get a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of depends what I'm in the mood to do.
Can,
But yeah.
can we talk about the fluffiness of these? Is that because they are keto that they?
What is
Yeah,
that one?
Which one again?
This is the both of
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
cookies are.
Yeah, they're a little bit more fluffy. If you
Just like me.
yeah.
Curvy.
They're more of a soft cookie. All of them are pretty soft.
Oh, this one's lemon?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Glazed lemon.
Are they good
Burger.
right out of the oven? Because I'm one of those people, when I cook cookies,
You want it right away.
I'm not letting it cool.
He doesn't want it
Right.
cool.
I mean, you can eat them right out of the oven. They're a little bit softer, even right out of the oven, just because they haven't cooled. But,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah.
He's even to the point where he won't even put them in the oven. That's
He'll
how
just
quick
eat
he
the
wants
dough,
it.
yeah.
He just wants the cookie dough.
Yeah,
Is the cookie dough good too?
the chocolate chip cookie dough is good, and the lemon dough. Well, actually, all the dough is good, but it's not. It's a little bit looser. It's a much softer dough than your standard Toll House.
The
you know, cut the
log.
log. Yes,
He's talking
exactly.
about the loaf and the law. He used to double fist, and then we had to have like a heart-to-heart. And we're like, Curt, this
I
may
would-
not be the best option.
I would leave the grocery store driving
Just
with
with
two in one hand, and like I'm driving with my knees.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, now I can talk about my driving as much as I want, which is okay.
Because your registration sticker's in date.
Registration is good, and then the Domino's lawsuit is gone. So
Are we allowed to talk about that now?
oh, we can.
Can we bring the lawyers on? This is a great day. I feel so
great,
much
yeah.
freedom and release
It is. It feels good.
out of my life because that
They're
was like
like-
in the back of my head. Am I going to get subpoenaed? Am I going to be
Yeah.
called to the witness stand?
I woke up this morning and they said, "Hey,
I can't
it's
lie.
been-
Under
it's-
oath.
You're done. Yeah.
They said, "Yeah, the lawsuit with the has been dropped."
Are you allowed to be an employee of Domino's again?
Never.
They don't want you back.
Yeah, not
That-
after that. What you put them through.
Never again. They said.
All right, we're
That's
talking to
funny.
the cookie lady. How many different flavors do you have, and which one is your favorite?
I have 6. So there's 3 that I didn't bring. Sugar cookie. What else? Sugar cookie. Peanut butter and double chocolate are the other 3 flavors.
The sugar
So-
cookie would be my favorite.
Yeah,
I'm
and
a big peanut butter guy.
The peanut butter is good. I like all of them, but my favorite lately has been the lemon, honestly, just because it's really light and fresh for summer. And it was my summer cookie.
Yeah,
But I think it will stay around longer
yeah.
because it seems to be very popular, and I like them myself. So
So here's the thing with diets, and especially keto, because at Cupcake KHEA, I've definitely had the keto cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had multiple keto cupcakes. And at what point is it like, man, I should have
You
just had like a
I had
normal
a real
cupcake?
Yeah, I had the real thing. Well, the lemon cookies, for instance, have like just under 2 grams of carbs per cookie. So I mean, you could have a couple of them and still stay on track, depending on if you're strict or if you're doing just more low carb.
Yeah.
And then of course you don't get the sugar. I use all Swerve in the cookies, so you don't get any of the sugar. So
That's a substitute for sugar?
Yes, mhm.
What's it called?
Swerve.
Swerve. I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's
That's a
good.
cool name.
It's the best one I've used. You do get no extra carbs, and it bakes really well.
What I've noticed, and sometimes if you use sugar-free or substitute for sugar, there's like an interesting aftertaste,
Yeah.
like even with soda, but this doesn't have anything, and it's very good.
That's why I like it. There's no aftertaste, and like I said, you get a lot. It bakes like real sugar. Because I had used some other things when I was experimenting in the beginning, and they did not bake well, and they tasted funny. So
Yeah.
we ditched that.
Sugar keto cookie. That's what Jazz says. Yummy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's
Yeah.
keto, but it's like sugar substitute.
Yeah, I
cookie.
need to figure out how to decorate them better. That's the only thing that, like the keto cookies, since the dough is not as easy to work with as like a normal sugar cookie dough, you can't like do cool designs on them. At least I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So that
Yeah.
might be something I try.
So what's the plan for the future? You know, you've been focusing on the keto for about a year. You said this is pretty much what's going on.
Yeah.
Right now you're doing this one woman army, making it happen, right?
Right.
So what's the plan? You know, where do you see yourself in a year or 2, 3 years?
Well, I'd like to at some point have some sort of a storefront. I don't know what that looks like just yet, but I would like to have a physical space where people could drop in and get stuff more easily than having to, pre-order. Because I know some people don't like to do that, but I don't have any other choice since it's at my house. So, I can't have people coming like, hey, it's 8 a.m. Where's my cookies? But yeah, so I would like to have a storefront, and I probably will need help too. At some
So
point.
I will say this. You coming in here and bringing these cookies, you open yourself up to Curt knocking on your door at 8 a.m. and be like, hey, you
Where's
got...
my
where are the
cheesecake and the cheese? Yeah.
You done goofed.
So welcome to that.
I know. Should have brought a cheesecake.
I did call Cool Cow already and said, please bring me some ice cream.
They
There
told
you
him
go,
yesterday
yeah.
that they would deliver, like, because he had a different brand, like, he just from the gas station picked up, like, a thing, and they're like, what are you doing?
Right.
Just call us. And he was like, all right, you said.
There you go. Yeah, you opened it up.
I recorded it.
Delivery.
Delivery. Yeah, so that way they
That's
say
a
we
pretty
can't
sweet
deliver
deal.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is dessert, has that always been something that I guess, like, you specialize in, I guess, being a baker?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked in other places with like more savory foods. I worked at Sur La Table for a while in the kitchen, so I got some experience doing more like savory cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my passion has always been baking, so I've always
Yeah.
kind of fallen back on that.
How has the business side been as far as getting everything in order? Because it's not easy to start a new business and then like knowing like, am I keeping the right information?
Yeah, it's not easy. Luckily, I have family that has started businesses, so they've been helpful, and I had already had some knowledge of that from teaching privately because that's self-employed too. So like I kind of knew the basics, like what I needed to keep track of, costs and things like that for keeping track of everything that's going on. But
Yeah.
it is a lot of work. There's a lot of behind the scenes work, and it's a lot of work just to try to keep growing it, keep promoting it. I'm constantly on my phone responding to messages. My husband's like, "What are you doing? You're always on your phone." I'm like, "I'm working. I'm not just playing on Facebook. I'm working." But it's there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Here's a question: do you and can you ship cookies?
I have shipped them to family. I'm not really, as a cottage kitchen, you're not really supposed to ship. So
At this point, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
In the future, hopefully.
Yeah.
You I just live in Texas City. You can drive them to me.
Yes, I can drive them, and you can come get them.
Do you prefer people coming getting the Kurt's like, wait, I want you to deliver them?
Yeah, I was really confused by that response. She was like,
No.
yes, I can drive them, and you can come get them. I'm like, wait,
Either
are you
or,
driving,
yeah, no.
or am I driving?
We could both drive. No,
Meet in the middle.
Meet in the middle.
If I'm around an area and I know someone's coming, I will of course try to make it as convenient as possible. I have delivered. I do sometimes. If it's just a normal day, mostly I have people pick up.
Yeah.
So just
You
it
can-
gets a little crazy.
If you give Kurt a cookie, he's going to ask for you to like just feed him to him after a while. That's that whole.
Only the
Where'd they
Only a
go?
constant supply. They disappeared.
It's like
I gave
magic
one
trick.
to Aldrich and one to Crystal, so I've had 4.
Okay, well, that's fair.
There you go. Well,
That's fair.
we got-
So the Snickerdoodle. Okay, so I've had all 3 flavors. Let's just go through this really fast. I don't know if I like the lemon as much, but that's just because I'm not a big
Lemon, yeah.
lemon person. The chocolate chip muffin was really, really good. I can taste the difference between
Yeah.
the keto muffin and this.
Right.
But the Snickerdoodle,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I could eat this all day and
Yeah.
never feel like I gain a pound.
Right. I don't keep Snickerdoodles in my house for that exact reason
dangerous.
because I will sit there and eat the whole tray myself. So.
These are literally the best
Yeah.
and my grandma makes some really good Snickerdoodle cookies.
Aw.
I was wondering, the cookie lady is a great idea and a great concept. I've always wondered why my grandma never did something like that, because
know.
her cookies are hands down delicious, and
She
she
had a
bakes
story.
all the time.
Didn't she bake you like hundreds of cookies?
For Christmas, she bakes like 300 some cookies
Right.
just for me. And I'm like, Grandma, there's no way. And she's like, oh, it's okay, sweetie. You'll eat it. And then she like pinches my cheek and she's like, oh, you're so cute. Go get a wife.
No, Grandma. I want cookies instead.
Just bring me cookies.
She's great. But
That's
every
funny.
Christmas, and she makes my favorite cookie of all time is the one, it's like a brown sugar one. It's a brown cookie, brown cookie, but it has white powder on the tops, and it's really good. And I've never been able to find it again, except for my grandma who makes them.
Wow. I haven't heard of that one. It sounds good.
I'll have to get the recipe
Yeah.
for it.
That's a great idea, Kurt, but please don't make them. We've had you try and make your family recipes that were also good, and it was just like, what is this? What is this? But maybe if we give it to someone, like an expert, like Allie, the cookie lady, maybe she can make some magic happen.
Maybe she could turn it into a keto Christmas
Keto
cookie.
Christmas cookies. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens this year. I haven't had a keto Christmas cookie yet. Maybe there'll be something exciting that'll come out.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Very seasonal. Seasonal options are
Yep,
always
yep.
good in dessert.
My grandma also made these peppermint, like the candy cane ones. They looked like candy canes.
They were like rolled up, kind of. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
That's
with the
before.
cookie lady, with the business, what has been the most challenging part so far up to this point?
Organization.
Like organizing is
organizing orders, staying like on track. I have to write everything down. I forget everything, so I have to write everything down, and just making sure I keep everything I need in order. Basically, yeah, organization's hard for me. So
yeah.
and keeping track of like all the comments on things too. People start commenting, "Oh, I want this and this." I have to go back and read all of it. But it's
Yeah, you go back and then you'd be like, was that you trying to place an order?
or were you just
like,
asking questions?
Right.
Happy to answer both. But yeah, so.
Okay, gotcha. Here's a comment, and this is from Crystal, who works here with us and came in and grabbed a cookie. She said the Snickerdoodle was fire. It's the best cookie.
Oh, good. Thank you.
That's the one I didn't try.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to try it.
You're gonna have, that's.
Try it really fast. Just take a
Just
bite
one
now,
little bite.
and you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this Snickerdoodle
Yeah.
is the best cookie I've
I'm
ever."
scared. What if I lose all self-control? I don't want to put myself in that compromising
Well,
position.
look what happened.
Exactly.
They're gone,
Why did you make these so good?
Yeah.
I did this.
Yeah.
This is your fault.
It's not even that bad for you, though. It's fine.
We're going to take a quick break on the FM. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. We're talking to Allie Houston. She's the cookie lady. You can go search for her on Facebook, on Instagram. Go follow. Get involved. Place an order. This is Kickstart. Coming up next is Unspoken.
I'm so glad Choppa didn't bring that stuff in that makes you not taste sugar.
Oh, what's it called?
Jemima.
Oh, no.
Jemiva.
It makes your taste buds
I
not
missed
function
this
right.
part of the.
Well, he didn't do it today.
Okay.
But he brought it in one time, and if he ever brings it in again, I know now I'm not taking it.
So people will sometimes use it as a tool because if you get into, I know I'm going to get into a snack. Like if you're trying to get things in order,
Right.
and I can't stop snacking after dinner. I'm not hungry. I
Right.
need to start eating or overeating. It's something that you use. It's like a
Okay.
liquid you put in your mouth, and it may have some other benefits, but one of the effects is you can eat stuff and you don't taste it. It tastes like nothing. Cardboard.
So it's no fun anymore.
It's not fun anymore. So you're just eating it, and it's just what am I doing? So it's something you can use to kind of get your life,
Yeah. Get your life on track
in order.
and not lose
Stop
control.
snacking.
So we did it, right?
Right.
And we had Olympia Grill coming in afterwards
no.
because Choppa brings a good audience.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, we'll bless Olympia Grill with a really nice audience, and they brought baklava.
Oh.
We didn't taste the baklava.
Do you like baklava?
Yeah, I do. Mhm.
It's not my first. It's not
Yeah.
my
I've
first
never
to go
had
to.
it. I ate it, but I don't know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Kurt ate the entire thing. That's what tricked me. I was like, you can't taste anything, and he was just like, I'm still gonna eat
Okay,
it.
eat it all. Yeah.
I wanted to see if eventually, if I
If it got better,
overrid it.
yeah.
Nope. Went through the
No.
entire baklava. Didn't taste a thing.
How long does it last? How long?
Hours.
Yeah, a couple hours,
Okay.
and then it was gone. And then your
Then
taste
you're
came
back
back.
normal. Okay.
Yeah.
I was so mad that day. I've never been mad on this show. I
But
was,
that was-
I was flipping the table
Yeah.
that day. It was bad.
He was throwing a little temper tantrum. It's
I'd
true.
probably be mad too if I had a bunch of baklava I couldn't taste. I can't say that I blame you.
If it was something like New York cheesecake, like keto cheesecake,
Yeah.
then I'd be a little more upset. But baklava isn't my number one.
Yeah, I don't crave it, but if it's good, I'll try it.
But cheesecake is something I do crave.
yeah. Mhm.
That's what I want. Like when they bring out a dessert tray at a
Right,
restaurant
right.
or somewhere, I'm like,
Mhm.
yes, I want the cheesecake. And then
I
number
want all
two
of
is
it,
maybe
yeah.
key lime pie.
Right.
Besides cookies, what is something else that you really, really enjoy?
I love cupcakes.
Cupcakes?
Yeah, that's my weakness.
Because you said you used to ice 300 cupcakes a day.
At least, yeah, it was a lot.
Can you share about the Magnolia Bakery?
Yeah, it was. So I worked in the original location on Bleecker Street, the Sex and the City bakery.
Yeah.
And basically, yeah, I that was my job, icing cupcakes. Literally, I would stand there and ice tray after tray of cupcakes. They taught you to do that signature swirl on the cupcakes. I could pretty much do it in my sleep by the time I left that job. And then, yeah, you did some work with their other desserts and things. And it was a really cool place to work. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Is that something, because you were going to school, you're going to school, NYU,
Yeah.
studying music. Is that something that you were like, I do love doing this, that's what I'm going to do, or hey, I'm looking for a job, this will be fun?
It was kind of more I'm looking for a job and oh my gosh, that sounds really fun. It's not I'm not sitting behind a desk. I'm up doing something. And also they were open really late. So it worked really well with my schedule. So their hours were till midnight or 1 a.m. on the weekend. So I worked a lot of nights. And yeah.
Why were they open so late? Because you feel like
People going out in New York, you need dessert after you've been out.
It's the
so
city that doesn't
it's-
sleep.
Yeah, it's 24/7.
That's
so.
crazy.
when I would go to visit, because I lived in Vermont for 2 years, and so I'd jump on a train on a Friday night, and the train ride was $50, something like that, and you would drive down to New York. spend all Friday night, Saturday, all night Saturday night,
all your money,
all day Sunday,
exactly.
just hanging out in New York,
Right.
Buying
you know,
cupcakes
seeing
at
all the
midnight.
stuff,
Yeah.
and then jump on the plane or train and go back
Go
Sunday
back,
night.
yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, you can see a show, go get dinner, go get your dessert. Yeah, people were out, and I mean, I was always constantly shocked at how busy it was at the middle of the night in that place. Like, they usually on Friday and Saturday nights they had like a bouncer almost at the door to control the flow of traffic.
At Magnolia Bakery.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still like that because now they have they've expanded a lot since then, but I'm sure the original probably still gets like that. So
That's pretty
it
interesting.
was pretty crazy. I was like, who's that guy? What's he doing here? He's like, oh, he's going to keep the store from getting flooded
Cupcake
with
bouncer.
people. Yeah.
Wow.
So
A cupcake bouncer? That's
Yeah.
the lifestyle.
I
That's
know, right?
That's the dream job.
He's like, don't pay me in money, just give me cupcakes.
yeah. And you did get a free dessert every shift you work. So I got to try,
New
pretty
flavors.
much the whole menu by the time I had left there.
Slow clap that. Wow.
What's something that you miss about living in New York or working in New York, school in New York? Is there anything that comes to mind?
I miss a few restaurants up there, and I do miss the 24/7. You can get Chinese
Anything.
food at 1 a.m. It's no big deal. Yeah, I miss that part of it. But
What style of food?
the restaurant I miss the most is Joe's Shanghai. They have the soup dumplings, pork soup dumplings.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, haven't found. I mean, I know they have them in a few places on the west side of Houston, but I haven't found the same
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah, I mean, this. It's maybe not the same thing at all, but there's a place called KHEA over off of 270,
Yeah.
and they have like dumplings.
Yeah.
And so we'll order some of those, and if my wife has like a bowl of ramen or whatever, she'll like drop them in there,
Yeah.
the pork, and it's just really good.
Yeah, no, they're solid. They have good food.
But I do like the community table at KHEA, and that's something that New York has everywhere.
Yes, that's the Joe's Shanghai. It's all family style dining. So like you just eat with strangers, and I kind of like that because you get to meet new people.
Yeah.
And it's
You
very-
chat or maybe not, or
Yeah.
look and see like, hey, because everybody has stories, even in League
Oh,
City,
yeah.
but in New York, I feel like it's even more.
Yeah.
So you just like, hey, where are you from? And if they want to talk, it's cool. If not,
And
whatever.
yeah, we just you
Yeah.
let them eat their meal, and that's fine too. But yeah, it's cool.
The other thing about New York that I've noticed and really like is like tapas, like all of the little
Yes.
appetizers. I feel like we need a restaurant like in our area
Yeah.
that's like that.
Yeah,
A
it's-
community table, tapas, and you kind of just like you eat and you share and you just kind of like have community.
That'd be cool to have something like that here. There's not like, I can't really think of an option that's exactly like that in
I
this
can't.
area.
Is your husband flying right now to Korea?
Yeah, he's
On the plane?
let's see, he's boarding right now.
Who does he
so-
work for?
American Airlines.
American Airlines.
Okay, so here's what I need him to do. Sean, I know you're watching
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Sean, we are so close to having 10,000 Facebook likes. We're 600 away.
So
Here's what I need you to do. I need you to go on the plane.
intercom and go
Mm-hmm.
bing.
Bing. Everybody,
could, yeah.
right now, please like KHEA Radio on Facebook.
The cookie lady is
Yeah.
currently on the best
My
cookies in
wife.
the world.
what we need to have him do is have him share your page on like the flight attendant Facebook pages, because I mean, there's tons of members, thousands.
Man, that makes
members,
sense
yeah.
because if you want to spread information across the world
Oh,
really
yeah.
quickly, that is
There's-
probably one of the best ways to do
Yeah,
it.
there's no faster way to spread information than through a group of flight attendants. It's like
They go everywhere.
Oh yeah, no they do. Yeah, he's
Sean,
boarding to go to Korea now.
Will you comment and say that you would help us get to our 10,000? Once we get 10,000, you don't have to help
Yeah, no,
anymore.
that's-
But just
Yeah,
spread the positivity. Be the good.
Do you get a fly for free?
I do.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
mhm.
That's cool.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Can you pass that off to somebody?
We get guest passes. They're not free. It's like there's a fee, but it's pretty cheap.
That's cool.
It depends on the route. Like, it depends on the route.
So Gardy wasn't the one who decided that he wanted you on here. It was
Right.
Curt.
I will remember this in our future.
That
yeah.
reached out to you and said, "Come on this show and
Yep.
spread about your."
Dude, plane tickets, like, it's more affordable now than almost ever.
I
Like,
know.
you can, like,
It's
fly these
true.
different places for, like, a couple $100 if you do it in advance and at the right rate.
It's great. I
love
love
it.
flying.
But
It's so
can
much
you-
easier. Can you imagine? I just got back from Orlando. I flew Southwest. Sorry.
That's okay. I'll forgive you. I like Southwest too.
But I was thinking, like, can you imagine 16 hours in the car? Like
yeah,
you
it's
can't.
not fun. I mean, yeah.
I would go nuts driving
we
for
did.
16
We've
hours.
done that drive several times back and forth. It's not fun.
Yeah, we were at one of our partners yesterday, FA 17 at Bay Area and Highway 3, and they are from Vietnam. It's a Vietnamese restaurant, and we were asking, how long does it take? She said it was like 24 hours to get over there.
It's long because I go with him on trips pretty frequently, and that's kind of that's also why I started this business, so I would have flexibility and I could travel with him, so I could see him. But like I went to Hong Kong with him a few months back, and it's like a 17-hour flight from Dallas.
Is that Japan?
China.
I'm sorry.
No,
I just saw Emily had said that you love Japan.
Yeah, we go there a lot. We went in January last for his birthday. We went for his birthday. We probably go at least once or twice a year.
What is it about like I guess Japan or even like Hong Kong that makes you drawn or enjoy those times?
The culture, it's beautiful. Very respectful. It's clean. The food's amazing. We love sushi and ramen. You can get like dollar pieces of sushi that's like better fish than anywhere I've had in the States, pretty much. And it's gorgeous. Like we go for cherry blossoms every year, so it's one of the most beautiful things I've seen.
So whenever you're not making cookies and you're not teaching the next generation of oboe pop stars, you're traveling maybe to China, Japan, or going wherever with your husband.
Yeah, and when I go on a work trip with him, it's usually very short. Like he'll have a 24-hour layover. So his Korea trip, for instance, he'll be there. He'll leave today and he'll be back on the 18th, whatever day of the week that is.
Okay.
So he's there for 24 hours. So if I go with him, that's how long I would stay too.
Is there a favorite spot in the United States that you like going to?
Yeah, we actually did a road trip out to like the Four Corners area over Thanksgiving last year, and that was absolutely gorgeous, like Monument Valley. And I think that's probably my new favorite spot in the U.S. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Where is it one more time?
The Four Corners, like Utah, New Mexico area.
Okay.
And the specific place was Monument Valley. If you haven't been, it's absolutely stunning to drive through. It's
What is that? I mean, what is it about that? What does it look like? The landscape is it like?
It's all like orangish red clay and these natural structures. They're not structures. They're like rock formations. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
like almost Grand Canyon-esque
yeah,
looking stuff?
very much like that.
Yeah.
It's
That's awesome.
very beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to make my way over there yet.
Yeah, go west.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out there.
Like the Midwest is easy because you can hit up all these different states. But when you get over there, I feel like it's just like, well, I'm driving all the way to California and seeing everything, sightseeing.
When my senior year of school, I actually hit every state on the West Coast.
Oh, nice.
So we left from Nebraska because that's where I grew up, and we went up through Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, down through California, back up. So we hit every single state in 2 weeks.
Wow.
If you weren't making cookies and you weren't like traveling, how do you think you'd be using your music like career, like teaching on the same level, or current or more?
I would teach more probably, and I would probably I could have done auditions for orchestra jobs, but it wasn't what I decided I wanted to do. So they're very competitive. You pretty much have to wait for someone to pass away to get a job in a major orchestra, and it's extremely competitive.
Are there Houston ones that are available?
Yeah, I mean Houston Symphony, Houston Ballet, they're all fantastic groups, and they're very competitive to get jobs. I mean, they're top notch. So
what about in New York? I'm sure they have amazing ones.
New York Phil, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean you have to. That's pretty much the cream of the crop. You're gonna. It's going to be hard to get a job like that. So that was kind of, there's smaller community orchestras that sometimes pay a decent amount, or at least, enough for it to be like a side job. But if you want like to do a full-time, top-of-the-line orchestra, it's extremely competitive.
So you were 12 years old. Grandma said, hey, you're going to band camp.
Yeah.
Was oboe the first choice, or is that kind of one they said, hey, let's try oboe? Or you were like, I want to do that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, no, oboe was my first choice because I had a neighbor that played the oboe, and I thought that was really cool. And I was like, oh, I guess I could do that. And that's kind of how it happened. I don't know. I thought it was weird, so I wanted to do it. So
Jazz says maybe we can hear her play. You brought your oboe today, right?
oh no,
Hang
no.
on.
We told
Yeah,
you. We said bring the oboe.
I did not. It's
We
at
didn't even know you
home.
played the oboe.
I know.
Actually,
Yeah,
we didn't
I
know that. That was information
But
we
yeah.
found out right when she got here, Jazz. I'm so sorry.
Convenient, right?
Who is Tito?
Tito's my pug.
Is Tito commenting?
Is
Where's
Tito
Tito?
commenting?
I don't know.
Does Tito have a Facebook?
I was gonna
Emily
say,
knows your life back and
is
forth.
it Emily Dyer?
Yes.
That's my sister.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Is she in New York?
She lives in Florida. She's in Tampa.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So we
that's-
got 20 seconds. We're going to go on the FM. We'll be able to chat a little bit more, and then we can sew it up. So do you, well, I'm not even going to ask that question because we only got 15 seconds, and we'll get into it on the FM. But if you have any thoughts, comments, maybe some hidden information or gems that have been dropping in the comments so far, keep them coming. Y'all are awesome. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. My name is Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It's 10:52 on a Tuesday. We had Dr. Aaron Choppa in studio. Right now, we have the Cookie Lady in studio.
That's the name of her business, is the Cookie Lady.
She's also the Cookie Lady. It's like a noun. She's the Cookie
I feel
Lady,
like
right?
they're going to be
Is that fair?
writing a
That's fair.
song. Like, do you know the Cookie Lady, the Cookie Lady, the
We could
Cookie
do that.
Lady?
Do you have a theme song?
No, I don't, but maybe I should make one.
You could
I
on
should
your
make
oboe.
a better, oboe theme song, yeah.
So everything that's happened in your life, it seems like you've had, I mean, we've gotten into it, a very, very traveled, interesting,
Yeah.
awesome life.
Right.
And it's all led you to keto cookies.
Right.
And could you see, like, whenever you were young, is this how you imagined life would play out?
No, not at all. I mean, it's everything has kind of just happened. I mean, everything has kind of stitched itself together, and now it makes sense. But it was, I've just had a very eclectic life. I've done a little bit of everything. So, and I guess it's just I've always been open to trying things, and if people have, if opportunities have presented themselves, I've tried to take them. So
Yeah. Well, you said something earlier just about whenever you wanted to try the oboe, it's because like that's different.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of weird. Like, hey, let me try that because not
Right.
everybody's doing it, and maybe it's for me. Is that kind of like I guess the outlook you have on life?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't like to do boring things. I don't like to do what everyone else is doing, and I determined early on after I graduated from college that I did not want to have a boss that was not myself. So
Cool.
that has led me to being entrepreneurial. So
Did you get that from anybody in your family, mom, dad, grandma?
yeah, my dad's self-employed. He's a lawyer.
So, well, I was gonna say, is he like a rebel? But like,
Yeah, no,
I
he's
guess
a
he could be.
He's a lawyer, and he also teaches scuba diving.
Yeah.
He's a dive master.
Oh, that's cool. That's different.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he's always has worked for other people in the course of his career, but he's always worked for himself pretty much.
Sure.
And so I've looked up to that, and yeah.
What kind of law does he practice?
He used to primarily do workers' comp. He's just done a lot of criminal.
Oh, okay. Criminal
and
women.
traffic. Yeah, I mean all that sort of stuff.
Workers' comp. We
He's
could
literally
use.
done a little bit of everything. So
That's cool.
He's very versatile too.
Doesn't hurt to know as many lawyers as possible,
Right.
especially
We
what
have
do.
8 on staff.
There's just a catch. You have to get in trouble in New York because that's where he's barred. So.
Okay, let's go. We can.
So yeah, if you have a problem in New York, you call him up.
All right, cool. We'll do that. We'll go get it.
So when I fly to New York
Right, if
on
you-
your behalf, and I steal the Statue of Liberty,
Or you steal like a cheesecake or something.
I'll have
You
protection.
call him up. Yep.
We have 8 on our staff right now, 8
Wow.
lawyers.
That's
7 of them to monitor what I say, and
right.
then one for what Gardy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just
It's
have to be extra
important.
careful. Sometimes.
It's important.
Sometimes.
So we have about 3.5 minutes left. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Cookie related, not cookie related. Remind people how they can get a hold of you. Anything at all.
If you want to place an order, you can go to my Facebook page, the Cookie Lady, and send me a message, comment on one of the pictures. And if you mention you heard about me on KHEA, I'll be running a little special
Oh, yeah.
for the rest of the week, little discount. And yeah, just try some cookies, I think.
That's cool. So go like her Facebook page, search the Cookie Lady. I know there's some people who already did. If you want to try, tell them, hey, I heard and saw you on KHEA, and she'll hook it up, get you
Yep.
some really cool discounts and stuff like that. That's what we love to do.
Thank you for coming in.
Yes,
Thank you
thank you
for
for
bringing
having me.
samples for us to try. Seriously, those Snickerdoodle cookies are hands down the best Snickerdoodle cookies I've ever had, and I love Snickerdoodle cookies.
You know,
Thank
at
you.
one point, is it not samples anymore? She just brought like a ton of cookies. You said like samples, and you ate all the cookies, and it's like I sampled.
What are you talking about? There's none
Right.
here anymore.
It's magic.
I know. They
Magic.
disappeared.
They're in my stomach.
Yeah. Hey, so y'all have an awesome day. Go do something positive today. Spread some love, and there's enough negativity in the world, so we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. Feel free to still share this video out because people are going to keep watching it. They can learn about what's going on in Texas and League City with the Cookie Lady, and they can also learn about health and wellness with Dr. Aaron Chapa.
Yeah, and if you're gonna make a comment about like Gardy or myself, like just don't. Like if you walk by and say, "Wow, you look fat. You've been eating tacos, huh?" Like just don't say those
Yes,
things.
I have been eating
Because
tacos.
then I have to go eat 6 more tacos. Like, be the good. Like, don't make me eat 6 more. Just be quiet. I love it. Hey, coming up on tomorrow's show, we're gonna have Provident Oak Financial. They do a lot of financial planning and whatnot for you guys. And I think one of the cool parts about Provident Oak Financial is a lot of people feel that they have to compromise their values based on, signing with an organization or a company. They're going to be talking about how Christians and people in the Christian community can actually be financially sound with their money. And then we're also talking to Paloma of the Moore Memorial Public Library located in Texas City, kind of about all the big changes that they have. We're going to be talking tacos. It's going to be great.
Yeah, change is coming over there to the Moore Memorial Library. We went there the other day, and I had to tell Curt to be quiet. He was like going in, like joking. I was like, dude, this is a library. Like, you can't be screaming in the library.
It's like, where do I put my food? And
That's
they're
what he
like-
was doing. I was like, dude, be quiet. We're in public. And the lawyer, we're about to get the lawsuit for talking in the library. Anyways, it's 10:58. This has been Kickstart, KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. We'll see y'all. Share this video and be blessed.
Yeah, coming up next is Bethel Furious right here on 99.5 FM KHEA Radio.
Bye.